All right. What's up, Buttercups? What's going on? Hello, my lovely salty. What's
Hello,
new?
my
What's
lovely
blue?
pussycat. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's going on?
What's up?
Hello, my love.
You're in stereo.
Whoa. Why am I? Whoa. Why am I echoing? That was kind of
I
bizarre.
no, I had my phone next to the laptop, and my phone I didn't realize was on. And
Hearing my own voice scared the shit out of me.
hearing your voice always scares the shit out of me, JC.
Hi, Sunray. How's it going, darling? Long time no see. What's up, everybody? Lady Witch, Cassius, Sharon. Who else do we have? Wiccan, of course. Lady Stardust. Is that like Dar and Lady together at the same time? And whoever else I might not see. Oh, I think I saw Kiss. Anybody else? Of course, Unwanted, Unwelcome Peanut Gallery. A big middle finger to you. So I think today I wore my most beautiful red shirt for you, Sam. What do you think about that?
I love that color. It does wonders for your hairy complexion.
I had a very hairy fitting this week just to make sure I had this t-shirt for this event.
That's a whole new meaning with the word hair shirt.
Oh my goodness. Say hi to Cassius. The reason we were late is actually
Hi,
because
Cassius!
Cassius couldn't get his shit together.
Blame it all on Cassius.
Yeah. Well, is it not true? Tell me I'm wrong, Sam. Tell me I'm wrong from what you told me, unless you were lying to me too, like everybody else.
Okay. It's true. Y'all don't need to know anything about our private life, though. We keep that private.
And there I am throwing it all out there for public consumption. I'm a bad friend. Oh my God.
Amiga. Sorry.
What's going on, Sunray? I hope you're doing well. I still haven't seen your leg yet. We can't officially start off this stream until I see your sexy leg. Oh goodness. So
hi, Kiss.
Obviously, I want to get this. I just want to get this stupid comment off the screen. So before we start, I thought we could, before we start with our wonderful dramatic reading of the particulars of claim, I wanted to point out something here that I found. So for those of you that may or may not be aware, feel free to, if you want or you don't want. I mean, I could care less. I could not care less. Sorry if you do or you don't. But by all means, feel free to have a run over and check out Frankie's latest community post that he put up yesterday. It was a whole lot of a whole nothing burger again. All he basically did. So I said that he won on a default judgment. Frankie, I never said that you won on a technicality. I said the procedural striking out of Alan's defense was a tactic. I didn't say you won on a technicality, but that doesn't matter. He put up another post. I don't know. I guess maybe he felt backed into a corner and basically said a whole lot of nothing again. It could be D-hand under and all, although it's pretty polite to be D-hand. It's one of the amoral cast of questionable characters. Hey, Tracy. But so he basically, something about it was a whole nothing burger, a whole hell of a lot of a nothing burger that I guess he felt that basically saying, of course, as we know, when one day when he can share everything, he'll be able to prove that he's lied about nothing. It's only everybody else in the rest of the world that's lied, not Frankie.
No, not you, not Frankie. It's everybody else lied. We just have to wait until next August or next September or December of 2029 or, whenever, maybe then. I'll wait for the proof of truth, just like I did with Norman and I'm doing with Martin Dehan and everybody else. So that's how I feel about that.
And that's just it. So now, of course, it's all once again, he made his post explaining that the remedies hearing was pushed to November. He obviously, as we know, guys, he's been nothing short of not being nothing short of transparent or upfront with the backers. So he just basically made it seem like it was pushed to November without explaining, AD is actually seeking an appeal, explaining nothing. So that exemplary damages claim, that's part of the particulars of claim. That wasn't something, now that obviously, because I hadn't read the particulars of claim in a while, until Sam pointed out, I forgot that was in there. So that's where that comes from. But the fact that they've rescinded and withdrawn that claim, which we went over yesterday, I'm not going to go on and on and on about it, but there's no mention of that, which I think is kind of, I think something that he might not like to point out, but he should be pointing out, like, why If this was such a precedent landmark win, why would you not be continuing with that? We know why. But anyway, so he basically said a whole lot of nothing, that he has the facts, and he used the word win in capital letters, must make everything he's saying true. He just has to wait till November. And then he put in the link for the default judgment order again. And then I found this on under his page. So I find it very interesting that once again, he's obviously signing off. If this was a nasty comment against Frankie, that comment would have been immediately moved. But because it's about me, it's perfectly fine to leave it there. So good to know that you're signing on with this, like Sam was saying yesterday. Good to know that you're signing on and complicit in the shitty behavior. So what we have is this some account that down under TC, who responded to Frankie's community post saying the forever victim. And then we have one of the alts of one of those morons. That's Genetic Toad. What an original name, you guys. That's Genetic Toad and her angry lot of no good rejects. And then down under TC responds directly to this Madison Sawyer. No, Frankie will always be a victim. He's chosen to be this way when most people actually get on with life. And then finally, we have the final comment. Feel like he's standing up for his family. He is an actual victim, though. The same can't be said for the small group of degenerates who constantly have a go at him. Those freaks are loco. You know, in this case, both things can be true. You can be a victim of the victim of a tragedy, but also not be a good person. In this case, both of those things can be true. And calling out someone's lies does not take away from him being a victim, but it also is not going to stop people. It doesn't give anybody carte blanche to exhibit really shitty behavior and treat people like shit.
Or I can just, I'll put it my own salty way. You can be a victim, but that doesn't give you an excuse and a right to be a fucking dick to people, especially when those people are the ones that bankrolled this goddamn fucking lawsuit. Those evil people that you're referring to are the ones that bankrolled your fucking lawsuit, son. Those evil people, me and JC, and those that are in the chat, and those that are listening.
Sorry, I have a mouthful of food. Keep talking.
No, I was just,
So I wanted to just quickly point that out. I don't want to waste much time on it because, as you know, I mean, I could give I've said a million times, like I give a.
Well, I want to reiterate what you said.
Please do.
I'm so glad that you allow that kind of fucked up behavior under your comments. I really appreciate that. We appreciate that. That's a really good look on you. That's the same shit that we've been talking about and consistently calling out ever since I quit this shit show and left the crazy train at the end of 2021. You know, because you can tell the truth, and that's what I've always done. That's what we came here to do. That's what we were doing, was telling the fucking truth. So again, you don't have to keep saying I'm not a liar, I'm not a liar, I'm not a liar. Well, I haven't lied about anything, but you've consistently lied about everything. You've consistently stayed quiet about everything, right?
Well, like I said, you know, in regards to him, it's only the rest of the world. It's all the rest of the world that's lying, except for Frankie. And I just want to be clear. There's a reason why I made that mention. If that had been a negative comment about Frankie, that comment would not have been approved, or it would have been removed immediately. So I'm not going to listen and buy any. Oh well, you know, I was sleeping, I didn't know this comment was there. It was sitting there for 9 hours, and I know that people are watching Frankie's channel, so that's not going to cut it as an excuse either. You're very clearly, your silence of not speaking out on the fuckery of the people that claim to work for you, Frankie, makes you complicit in all of this, and leaving shitty comments like that up, you know, is not helping your case at all. And I mean case in a general terms. I don't mean the civil claim.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. How are you? Nice to see you. Long time no see. Jeanette, good to see you.
Nice to see you, Jeanette, and Dave, and Kiss, and Cassius, and there's Cassius and Sharon. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Sunray. Hi, Lady Stardust. I want to say hi to everybody.
I want to. Can I actually ask a question? Is it? I feel stupid asking this all these years later, but when I see the name, I see it as Sharon. But is it Sharon or Sharon?
I say both. That's why I say Sharon and then I say Sharon, just to be on the safe side.
Well, see, that's why I'm all these years later finally going to go, what the fuck should I be calling you? Hi, Lady Witch. I don't think I said hi to you. Sheila,
if you were shadow banned or anything, we wouldn't be able to see you now.
Sheila it says here, I can attest that none of my comments lately have made it onto JC's. What do you mean by that?
She was saying
There was
yesterday
one there was one that I did remove that I personally didn't agree with, and I didn't want to give them any fodder. There's a bunch here. I've approved your comments. There's nothing showing up. I have
none of my comments show up on Wiccans. That's what's weird. I can leave 5 comments, but maybe one might show up, and I have to keep refreshing the page or just close everything out and go back to see if it's on there. But I've had that issue on Wiccans. I don't know if she doesn't approve mine, but maybe that's it. I don't know. But I know that I see Sheila's comments.
Sorry. I just had somebody talking to me. Sorry, what's going? I mean, I normally all your comments, Sheila. I mean, I put them through, so I don't understand because I hold all comments. I have to. I never used to have to until basically turned on Martin Dehan because he's such an asshole and battery acid. I'd like to try to keep my channel somewhat clean, and I don't need a bunch of lowlifes leaving a bunch of ridiculous, nasty comments. But I just checked there this morning, and I don't show any held comments whatsoever. So if stuff's not showing up, Sheila, it could be the YouTube algorithm gobbling them up as well.
Gobbling.
I'm not against you. I promise. Gobbling.
Here we go. Let's see if we can do it. I have to wet my whistle.
No, I know you don't, Wiccan, but I mean, for me, I mean, I've been dealing with these nutters for so long. To me, it's just, I'm not going to waste, and I'm not saying this is nothing against you. Obviously, you'd run your channel the way you want. They're never going to come and say anything that is of any civil discourse or that's going to be of a valid argument. So I'm not going to waste my energy, going round and round and round. Like we do, with Tasha and Helen, the queens of circular arguments. There's just no point. So yeah. I just, cut it right off, out of sight, out of mind.
I hear you.
So I didn't even see Sharon's response. I have to, she doesn't mind either. All right. Well, there we go. I like Sharon. I think it's kind of cool sounding. But apparently we can use both. Yes.
Sharon.
Excuse me. I got a cough.
Sharon. We can say it 3 ways.
My Sharona.
Sharona.
Oh, yeah.
Great minds think
All
alike.
right. So what do we have up here, Sam? What is that?
Okay, so this is claim number KB/2022/004547 in the High Court of Justice, King's Bench Division, Media and Communications List between Franklin William Rzucek and Alan Vinnicombe. Claimant and defendant. Can everybody see it? Can everybody hear us?
If you guys can see it, okay, there in the chat, put it, I guess, why? Put something, give me a middle finger, whatever you guys want. Oh, too bad the peanut gallery can't do that. Then they're probably doing it anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody can see it.
Sunray says she can see it there, so.
Okay, so. Hope everybody's
Cassie's coming in there. Oh my God, I had to laugh. Sorry, just before one last thing before we start, I had to laugh at Cassius and his misspellings. So you know how you made the comment there, we talk about the slow golf clap.
Yeah.
His misspelling.
Did he put slow golf clit by accident?
Slow golf cart.
It's better than slow golf clit.
Well, yes, there's that. He also had, I think I would have laughed even harder at that.
That would have been hilarious.
Slow golf cart, and then the laughy symbol, which made me laughy face. The laughy face symbol made me laugh even harder. Slow golf clap for the slow golf cart for you, Cassius. God love him. God love him.
I love him. Okay.
Oh yes, that's right. Everybody, grab your pens. Take notes. Grab your pen and paper.
Get your notebooks. Get your notebooks, people. We're going back in time now. Remember when we used to do the Salty Clubhouse? We used to have, I said, bring your fucking pens and your notebooks, and I went them out, and they better be pink pens with little feathers on the end, little poofy feathers, maybe a troll head, better sparkle.
There will be a test. There will be a test at the end of the stream.
There will be. It is not multiple choice, so you're screwed.
Did you say poopy feather? Is that what you said?
No, I said poofy. Poofy.
Oh, poofy. I heard poopy.
Like the little
I heard Poopy. Poopy feather.
Think a troll head, like one of those troll dolls, the poofy hair troll, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Edie McClurg had in that Roseanne episode when they went to bingo. She had all the troll dolls lined up around her bingo cards, picking up the whole table.
Those women exist, and that's scary.
Oh my God, do they ever? I know my mom isn't one of them, but she was a oh, screen sharing was canceled. What happened here? Can you guys still see everything on the screen?
I can see it.
Oh, it might have been mine. Maybe it was mine. I don't know what. Yes, you can use your crayon, Sunray. Hang on, I want to make sure everybody can still see it. Okay, it's just me that's being ridiculous, of course.
Okay, so this.
All right, so you go ahead and start.
Okay, I will start. Particulars of claim. We'll do
our official dramatic reading.
Dramatic reading
begun.
I will turn on the camera if I can do 8 things at once, and y'all can see me doing it in sign language for people. That would be fun. If you could have me in the corner, I could be reading it and doing sign language at the same time for those that are hearing impaired, so they can get it. Okay.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Oh God. Particulars of claim, parties and background. The claimant is a U.S. citizen, aged 36, who lives in North Carolina, USA, with his parents. He has owned his own construction business, Frankie's Home Improvements, for 16 years, which, until the commencement of the conduct by the defendant, which is the subject of these proceedings, he advertised online at this URL right here, facebook.com, Frankie's Home Improvements. You had it. It was on Facebook? On his Facebook page?
So it was a Facebook group.
So it's a Facebook page. Okay. Yeah. But I remember during his FBI interview, he was saying that he hadn't been able to hold down the job because of his anxiety. Isn't that right? Something like that?
Well, yeah, long before Alan prevented him from being able to run his business.
Okay, so he had a business for 16 years, which until Alan's awful conduct, he advertised online. The claimant's sister was called Shanann Watts, née Rzucek, Shanann. Shanann was married to Christopher Watts, with whom she had 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, and with whom, by the time of her death, she had conceived a 3rd child, who was to be named Nico. In brackets here, the children.
You can call them parentheses if you want. Parenthesis.
Number 3. In the early hours of 13th August 2018, Shanann and the children were murdered by Christopher Watts. 4. Christopher Watts initially attempted to conceal the murders of Shanann and the children and to mislead the police and the public about his involvement. He was arrested on the 15th of August 2018. Christopher Watts pleaded guilty on the 6th of November 2018 to 9 counts of murder and related offenses concerning the killing of Shanann and the children, the Watts case. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Christopher Watts himself, the prosecuting authority, the people of the state of Colorado, and the court, the District Court of Colorado, approached the Watts case on the basis that Christopher Watts was, as he admitted, solely criminally liable for the murders. Six, there has been extensive media interest in the Watts case, including a TV dramatization and a TV documentary. The interest in the Watts case is extended to extensive online commentary on and speculation about it, including the dissemination of conspiracy theories concerning both the criminal responsibility and motivation of Christopher Watts for the murders of Shanann and the children. 7, the defendant is a UK citizen who lives in the UK. He has set up at least 8 companies in the hospitality and construction industries, of which 7 have been dissolved and 1 liquidated. He describes himself as a semi-professional poker player. 8, the defendant operates a YouTube channel named Armchair Detective Blue at this URL.
Which is, notice, a YouTube URL that no longer exists. Yeah, it's his channel URL, yeah. Which obviously we know.
It doesn't exist. The description for the description page for the channel on YouTube at the URL, see here.
Do we?
8.1 describes the channel as being focused on true crime and other case mysteries. 8.2 asks the viewer to join me as I dissect cases that have baffled the public over the years. And 8.3 uses the hashtags Chris Watts, Shanann is innocent.
Okay, can I just interject something here for a moment? And this goes along with what you were saying yesterday. First of all, I think personally, the fact that they've thrown in that using hashtags is now supposed to be considered harassment is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Every other, so what other, and we'll even throw in what other channels, conspiracy theorists, whatever channels that do true crime do not say in some form or fashion, join me as I go through this case that has baffled the public, dissect this case, and uses hashtags. Now, if it's considered hashtags to use, according to this illogic, as far as I'm concerned, Chris Watts, Shanann is innocent. Well, first of all, I don't see any of the Rzucek hashtags. They can't sue on behalf of Shanann. So what is it that's supposed to be harassing? And that should also go for, like you were saying yesterday, Sam, all of these Rzucek strong hashtags that are attached to all of these nutters fucking videos and their community posts and what have you. Yeah.
I saw hashtags and Zawaki's on all of his. I mean, I'm just using him as an example. Look at the hashtags that he's got on any of his live streams or what's content. And we're talking about mistress murder, Shanann abuse, Shanann abusive wife, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What I'm specifically referring to though is, and I'm going to use undercover mother here for a change, because for as an example, because she's the queen of fucking hashtags. So putting out, talking about Alan, this and that, and then using all these hashtags, it should go both ways. If it's apparently supposed to be harassment using Shanann Watts as innocent against the Rzuceks from Alan, then why would it not be the same using Rzucek strong when they're pointing out, things that Alan is doing that's allegedly harassing them with Rzucek strong hashtags? If it's good for the goose, it should be good for the gander.
Well, we live in the land of hypocrisy. That's what I've come to realize.
Well, of course we do. So, anyways, I don't want to go on and on.
Number nine. As to the content of the channel,
Sunray, I had to laugh. A semi-professional poker player. Yeah, I snicker too. Still at that.
Oh shit. As to the content of the channel, 9.1, the majority of videos on the channel are related to the Watts case, and the defendant has published at least 184 videos about it since around late 2018. 9.2, the defendant publishes videos on the channel relating to other well-known criminal cases in the U.S. And 9.3, the defendant publishes videos on the channel relating to well-known criminal cases in the UK, such as the disappearance of Nicola Bulley on the 27th of January 2023, which attract a substantial number of views. 10, as of March 10th, 2023, the channel has more than 79,100 subscribers. 11, the defendant operates a Patreon page connected to his publications on the channel at, here it is, the defendant offers his supporters different tiers of subscriptions to the Patreon page and explains to his supporters that MSM is selectively brainwashing us. I'm here to show the other side of power, money, and influence. Okay. Protection from Harassment Act 1997. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I was just going to read a couple pages there. Whether you like it or not, I'm stealing the paper from you.
There you go.
Yeah, so join Patreon now. Apparently, he's not allowed to have Patreon either. But anyway, so Protection from Harassment Act 1997. Number 12, the defendant has pursued the course of conduct pleaded below carried out from September 22nd, 2020 onwards, which amounts to a harassing course of conduct for the purposes of S.1, Protection from Harassment Act 1997, PHA 1997 in brackets, and which the defendant knows or ought to know amounts to harassment of the claim. So this right here, I think you may have read this, something like this yesterday, Sam. I just want to stop. He knows or ought to know.
No.
Ought to know. So because now you can be sued because you didn't even maybe occur to you that something, not even harassment, but I'm just in general, because you didn't think of something could apply, that you're now guilty of harassment in this case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, that's ridiculous. 12.1.
People ought to know that lying is wrong. Sorry, I had to say that.
Well, yeah. And they still lie all day, every day. Perfect example. I love you so much. 12.1. Persistently publishing to his 78,500 subscribers because he has a YouTube channel, and that's what you do, is publish content. Anyways, and more widely to the world at large. Oh my God. Videos on the channel promoting wholly unfounded conspiracy theories which directly and indirectly implicate the claimant and his parents in a sinister ongoing cover-up around the deaths of Shanann and the children, frequently in distressing terms. So 12.1.1. On September 22nd, 2020, the defendant published a video at the URL, and we are going to note there's no attachments in here. There's no video attachments. It's just a YouTube link. So anyways, there's the YouTube link, which no longer exists. Entitled. It should actually just say titled, not entitled. But anyways, we can all talk about the Watts case official. And then hashtag content no hate. In this video, the defendant suggests that the claimant's family are seeking to cover up important information concerning the murder of Shanann and the children. Well, we can't pull the video up and take a look at it, so let's move along. 12.1.2. On July 18th, 2021, the defendant published a video at, again, the no longer existent YouTube link that you guys see in front of you, titled, Armchair Detective Shows You What They Are Desperate for You Not to See. In this video, the defendant, 12.1.2.1, cruelly speaks in ghoulish terms as to the manner of the client's niece's death by suggesting that they were all drowned in an oil storage drum by Mr. Watts, rather than killed first, and then placed in the drum so as to conceal their corpses.
Jesus, what the fuck?
Well, yeah.
What the hell does this have to do with anything? Do you know how many people have said that?
I've said that exact very thing, yep. If I recall, hang on a sec, Sam. I recall that was, what was that? Oh my God, Carolyn Cadle. Sherilyn Cadle. She had put that in her book. How come you're not suing her? Oh, right. She's from the States, isn't she?
There are people literally like, what's the obsession? She had a live stream, not like maybe 7 or 10 days ago, when they were discussing that very thing, that they were drowned.
Yeah. This is far from the first time.
This is bullshit.
Technically at this stage, and you guys know, I don't even know why. This is the last time I'm going to say it. I am not defending AD, but technically he got that from Sherilyn Cadle. So why are we suing AD? But as like you said, so many people have said it. It seems, again, this blind focus on only it's AD that's the most evil man in the world. Anybody else, apparently Sherilyn Cadle saying it, unless they got maybe money from her. Oh no, they had to pull the book, didn't they? Plagiarism. Anyways, you get my point. So let's move along. This is unfortunately uncomfortable sort of stuff that, I mean, this is putting this kind of stuff in. It's just, wow.
I know.
Anyways, 12. We could probably go on and on about it. So 12.1.2.2, in the context of the cruel speculation. So again, they're saying right there that he's speculating. How is that harassment and defamation? Defamation. If he's speculating. Definition. That's like definition and defamation together. But no, it says right there, in the context of the cruel speculation. So they're even admitting that he's speculating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyways, cruel speculation referred to at 12.1.2.1 immediately above addresses the claimant and his family directly, claiming that, and quotes, all I've done is protect your sister. Asking suggestively, what is it you're so afraid of? And purporting to offer an answer to that question by stating, well, maybe I'm going to show you. This is what they don't want you to know.
Okay. There you go.
Sigh. Yeah, I'll just keep reading here. 12.1.2.3 suggests, I'm assuming there should have been a name and there's a big space there. Anyway, suggests in describing the claimant and his family as the gang of trolls and their leader, that they fear further revelations about the murder of Shanann and the children and have therefore harassed the defendant. So once again, him speculating the gang of trolls and their leader. Are we talking about Martin Dehan here possibly?
Yeah, he was talking about Martin Dehan, not Frank Rzucek Jr.
Yep. Yeah, Frank Rzucek is not their leader, although the real leader of that gang of shit-stirring, troublemaking trolls, useless, incompetent trolls, is Martin Dehan, who does claim he works for Frankie. So yeah, this was what you were talking about yesterday about them twisting and misconstruing it and decontextualizing and obfuscating exactly what well, they're outright deliberately trying to make it seem that he's talking about Frankie when it's we all know that that's Martin Dehan he's talking about. Deham, as he calls him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 12.1.3. On August 10th, 2021, the defendant published a video at, once again, the non-existent YouTube URL titled, Chris Watts, What Have We Learned in 3 Years? In this video, the defendant, again, suggests he is there using the word suggests, not has stated as fact. They are saying the defendant is suggesting that 12.1.3.1, the claimant is concealing information regarding the murder of Shanann and the children. Well, I mean, if we want to be point blank about it, I seem to recall Frank Sr. saying that there was, which, I mean, I'm not knocking him saying this, but what he did say is there's information that the public will never know. So technically, is that not concealing information, which they have every right to do?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong? Am I?
No, I mean, none of this so far being put forth is actual defamation.
As far as we're concerned, in our opinions, anyways, in our
allegedly
opinions.
in speculation, in my fucking humble opinion.
And one thing I do want to point out is reading a publicly available document that is in the public interest and of public concern. This is not bullying. This is not attacking. This is bringing public documents to the public, which are of much public concern and public interest. So now
and you and I and the people in this chat and everybody listening and watching have a vested interest in this, because us evil people are the ones that raised the money for this lawsuit in which this particular claim was filed.
Oh, I shouldn't do that. I was trying to wipe a little salt off my laptop that just ended up there, and I shouldn't do that because I tried that earlier and I closed the whole window. So, ooh, that was close. Ooh, I'm such a bumbling mess. Anyways, all right, where were we here? So, the claimant is concealing information regarding the murder of Shanann and the children. Next one, 12.1.3.2. The claimant is protecting the mistress in this case. Again, as it states above, this is what Alan is suggesting. They don't claim that Alan is stating this as fact.
He's speculating. He's speculating.
Suggesting that it could, that's his opinion. Anyways, so I just want to point out the wording that they're using, not the defendant states as fact.
Yeah.
Suggests. So 12.1.3.3. The claimant is ignoring, hang on one second. Sorry. The claimant is ignoring those who are some of the grammar and sentence structure in these is very hard to read. Yeah. So I'm going to read this exactly as it's stated, and then if it needs, I'll try to correct it after. The claimant is ignoring those who are properly to be suspected of the murder of Shanann and the children and likes money going to him. The claimant is ignoring those who are, I think should be purported, not properly. It should be purported to be suspected of the murder of Shanann and the children. I'm sure it should be purported.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No. So the claimant is ignoring those who are purported to be suspected of the murder of Shanann and the children and likes money going to him. Well,
and
Frankie does have his PayPal right there front and center on his channel when you go to it. He's got paying members, and of which all of his content, not that he has put anything out besides, to give me money community posts. He hasn't put out any videos or anything. But my point is he's got a monetized channel. How is that not making money off the tragedy that he claims? Like I said yesterday, it can't be both, Frankie. You can't be claiming that your family has made nothing off the tragedy, but then suing Armchair Detective because you're not able to collect YouTube revenue from your monetized channel that consists of content that is completely about your tragedy. How much super chats did you make when you released that Nicole Kessinger video? I noticed that live chat has been removed. Is that because you don't want people, or you don't want it out there, the thousands of dollars in super chats that you got? I mean, you absolutely, you have every right to make money that you want off this family tragedy. But the fact of the matter is you lie, and it's like the arrest record. I don't give a shit about the arrest record. I don't give a shit that you make money off this family tragedy. It's it's an unfortunate tragedy. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is the lying that you don't have an arrest record, the lying that you've never made a penny. You're sitting there laughing in the world's faces, thinking we're stupid. You've never made a penny off the tragedy, yet the first thing you see on his homepage is his PayPal link.
If people actually believed in this, I'm going to tell you, and this is me being brutally honest, and I'm just putting it all out for you. If people actually gave a fuck about this, they would have raised so much money. And this fucking lawsuit would have been straight out of the gate, hot as shit, and it would have had a leg to stand on.
they wouldn't have allowed that crowd justice. And that thing is still stagnant after all of these years. And it's been at least 2.5, 3 years at this point when old Dehan came out and said that the money in the crowd justice fund has stalled because it's attached itself to a criminal fucking investigation.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
right? And again, that's
honest,
coming from
anybody cared about
Dehan
this
that works
shit,
with you.
You wouldn't have to put out that same go-to fucking condescending fuckery on your community posts. Oh, I can say, just wait until July, just wait until November, just wait till October, just wait till September, just wait till next year, just wait till this, just wait till that. It's the same bullshit that everybody spouts, the same lies, the same, oh, I don't do anything behind the scenes. I don't care about, I don't talk about y'all. I don't talk about y'all. I don't care about y'all. I'm so far above this. I only comment because y'all can't stop talking about us. It's the same fucking bullshit.
Yep.
So let's
and the
be
same
perfectly clear. So the same slow golf clap that you get from these barking seals, these same 5 people and their alts are the same people that sub up to him. Probably maybe get a notification, right? And they'll just automatically like the shit. They're not reading the same shit because it's been the same shit for years. And don't forget that you claimed your YouTube channel as your income when you gave that information to the court for your lawsuit.
But then again, out of the three reasons that he wants everybody to donate to his crowd justice is one, obviously the AD assertion that he has a criminal record when in fact he does, and that they as a family are making money from the tragedy when in fact they are. So that's misleading the public on 2 of the 3 counts. And as far as I'm concerned, and again, I'm not trying to pretend I'm a lawyer, but trying to sue on behalf of NK is not going to work for you either. By AD suggesting there's a mistress, you can't sue on behalf of somebody else. So that kind of knocks out all 3 of your reasons for wanting money to sue AD, because you do have a criminal record and your family has made money off this case. And let's just use, like Sam used the example. We only need the example that you've made money by claiming your YouTube channel as income.
Not Frankie's Home Repair Sod, your YouTube channel.
So again, it can't be both. In this case, both cannot be true. You can't claim income on your YouTube channel that has nothing but content surrounding the tragedy, all of this Watts case. That's all your channel is consistent of, and then turn around and sue somebody for saying you're making money off the case when you are. Okay. How the hell does this? Anyways, we could go on about that all day.
Yeah.
So going on, were you done, or sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Go ahead. Let's keep going.
So let's go on to so likes money going to him. I mean, who doesn't like money going to them? So again, how is AD suggesting that proof of defamation and harassment? So anyways, 12.1.3.4. Had Shanann herself seen the evidence, she would not be in the same corner as her family. Again, these are all comments that, and in the words of the barrister Cohen Davis, that the defendant has suggested. Not that the defendant has stated as fact, but that he has suggested. Then we have 12.1.4. On September 15th, 2021, the defendant published another non-existent video at this YouTube channel titled Armchair Detective, The Madness of YouTube, Going Real Life, Legal and Tammy Lee. 12.1.4.1 claims that he hasn't done anything other than say Chris Watts didn't act alone. And again, in the wording, claiming. They're not saying he stated it as fact. He's claiming, speculating, suggesting, opinioning. 12.1.4.2 falsely claims that an individual named Tammy is looking into the case of other people being involved in the murder of Shanann and the children. Well, you did have that.
She said that she was, though. Remember? She said that she had to follow up those fucking claims. And it wasn't
remember Dave Carter?
Yes. And I remember that they put that shit out on their own channel before it went mainstream, before it was released to the public. So she actually did say that we have to follow into every lead, regardless of how ridiculous it is, regardless of whatever. So she herself said that they were doing that. So that right there falsely claims that an individual named Tammy is looking at the case for other people involved. She was. We all know who Tammy was.
She was.
This is some fuckery right here.
if people forget, I don't want to dig it up right now because obviously I'm so far, knock on wood, I'm knocking on my head. This connection is working out. You all, and I'm going to link to it here. Once you start reading, I'm going to go find it because I want to drop the link in because I think it's very important. Y'all remember that. So Tammy, we're talking about Tammy Lee. Was she? I don't know. I can't remember if she was CBI or FBI. But point being is they did talk to other people. I have the recording. It wasn't Tammy Lee. I think it was. Not Baumhauer. I remember Alan always used to say that wrong. Boomhauer. Anyways, it was one. As soon as I find the video, I'll drop the link. And there was a video of David Carter talking with them. I mean, they blew him off after because he was full of crap. But
yes,
but that was in fact true.
Yeah, so that's not a false claim. Tammy Lee did, and y'all even put it up on your channel, Frankie. So this is bullshit. Looking into the case of other people being involved in the murder of Shanann and the children. This is a flat out false claim. I will.
You keep reading, Sam. I'm going to go find that video right now. So I'm going to jump down and come back, but you're good. Off you go.
Okay. So those false claims, no, it was a real claim. I mean, the claims were false, but his claims that there were other people involved, that obviously wasn't false because Tammy Lee did have to look into those stupid claims that David, the sex offender, I remember now, made. So they had to look into it. And you put it up on your channel, Frank Rzucek Jr. So that is bullshit. That right there is bullshit. So let's go to the next one. 12.1.4.3 claims that the claimant and his family are hiding something. And the next suggests that the claimant and his family are seeking to conceal the truth of whatever happened to Shanann and the children. On December 30th, 2021, the defendant published this video titled, not entitled, titled, Chris Watts, Why Can't They Tell Us the Truth? Armchair Detective. In this video, the thumbnail image reproduces the title in capital letters above the words Chris Watts and a series of thumbnails of individuals connected to the deaths of Shanann and the children, including the claimant and his parents. What the fuck? The thumbnail, title, image, and or the video suggest that the claimant and or his family are involved in a cover-up or are failing to disclose the full truth concerning the murders. Again, you want to talk about decontextualization. And I remember when we got this, his channel was still up. So we looked on these videos and we looked at that. We were cross-referencing it at the time because he hadn't lost his channel yet. God, this is fucking ridiculous. 12.2, persistently publishing posts on the channel's community page, attacking, vilifying, and mocking the claimant for his attempts to seek redress in respect of the defendant's publications. On November 14th, 2021, the defendant published a post on YouTube at this URL. In this post, the defendant says, with reference to the claimant, that Junior's scam has been out-scammed. Oh dear, the sums of money you all spent, not. Good luck with asking for it back. Suggesting that the claimant's fundraising efforts are dishonest and mocks the claimant, saying, take not trolls, LOL, your little boy's out of his league. Fuck you, and fuck you again. Because in the end, your fucking fundraising efforts have been dishonest. You were never honest with your financial backers, the donors, and those people like me that supported that and gave and bankrolled this fucking boondog. All of the malicious fucking donations made, even in Alan Vinnicombe's name on that page. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And how many people have contacted Crowd Justice? How many people have contacted your Cohen? How many people have tried asking Frank Rzucek money for their money back? Because they were scammed. Yeah, good luck for asking for it back. That's literally what you're quoting him as saying. And that's literally what happened. Yeah, good luck with asking for your money back, guys, because it's not going to happen. That's why I said, fuck you, sideways. On or around 28th February 2022, the defendant published a post on YouTube at this URL. In this post, okay, here we go. The defendant says, I wondered why Frankie would go through this fundraiser where all the money goes directly to the lawyers. Either they're in cahoots, e.g. to split the money between them, or the lawyers are conning the ruse. Sick, suggesting that the claimant's fundraising efforts are dishonest. Again, they were and they are, which is why you can't raise any more money, and you haven't for years since all of this shit happened. You would think, especially since you claim your YouTube channel as your income source, that you would be doing everything in your power to at least put more money into that thing to cover the costs that you're Cohen and all of the other lawyers and everybody else have incurred because of Claire Morgan and because of the fuckery of people like Dehan. On or around 12.2.3, the defendant published a post on YouTube at this URL. In this post, the defendant says, there is no court case. Understand English? Don't fall for yet another countdown, for God's sake. Suggesting that the claimant's fundraising efforts are dishonest. Which, again, they were. Now, you can understand when we first saw this, when we got it, how fucking pissed off we were, right? Because the instances of defamation and harassment that are being cited in this are all around the crowd justice fund. When AD is suggesting that his fundraising efforts are dishonest. Are y'all sick to your stomach yet? Are you as pissed off as I am yet? Think about that. Think about all the work we did, collating all of the information, sending it to all of these people, doing everything that we thought that we were supposed to do. All of that had to have been thrown away because why? Because Claire fucked it up. And at the time we were asking, can you guarantee your backers that Claire didn't fuck it up? Nothing. Crickets. You didn't hear shit from anybody, did you? And to play devil's advocate at the time, BAM was using their silence to attack and saying they were scamming him out of the money. It was a scam. It was a scam. It was a scam. And JC and I consistently came out and said, no, the money went to Yair Cohen. It went to where it was supposed to go. So we're the only ones that were actually doing the right thing. The only ones. Because we knew it went where it was supposed to go. And then we see this. So everything that they had was thrown out. And they had to wait a certain period of time. So all of the instances, again, of defamation and harassment and all that, most of them surround from these comments that he's making about the Crowd Justice Fund. Good luck trying to get your money back, guys. Yeah, good luck with that. Suggesting that, again, his fundraising efforts were dishonest. They were dishonest. They are dishonest. All of it was dishonest. How in the hell could you expect people like me and JC not to be pissed off about that? And I'm pretty sure that all of y'all are really pissed off about it now. I don't give a shit what you feel about me. I don't give a shit what you feel about AD. I don't give a shit what you feel about JC. Anybody else, even Frank Rzucek Jr. Everything we did, all those questions, all the times we said, how bad did Claire Morgan hurt the case? Now y'all know how badly she hurt the case. Suggesting that his fundraising efforts are dishonest. Suggesting his fundraising efforts are dishonest. So everything happens with Claire Morgan. And yep, she fucked it up the ass. So they had to start over. And they're using these comments that he's making about the Crowd Justice Fund or about his fundraising efforts, right? So his fundraising efforts are dishonest. And then he says, imagine what Frankie's need to complete a whole case, £400,000 to beat AD. He threatens the claimant, asking, will juniors pay for them to defend the prosecution coming their way if ours dare to come at AD legally? The next one, this is fun, refers to gang stalkers in Junior's network who work to team. Sorry, I'm going to start that over. Refers to gang stalkers in Junior's network who work a team abuse by proxy. He controls these unaware instruments, suggesting that the claimant is responsible for harassing the defendant. You absolutely fucking are. And you know what? The idea and the fact that you left that comment up on your community post when that person is referring to genetic toad shows that you were. It shows it. It shows it. gang stalkers and juniors network who work for team abuse. Yes, the same people that were doing that to AD are systematically have done it to other people on this platform for the past 3.5 years. Everybody in this chat has been a victim of it. I have. JC has. Everybody has. So 12.2.3.4, you can suck out of my goddamn salty cock.
12.2. Sorry, what was it? Where are we? 12.2.3.4. I'm just there. We go. Refers to. Oh yeah, the gang stalking. I haven't said that in a long time. Holy.
Suggesting
Am I here?
The claimant, yes, suggesting that the claimant is responsible for harassing the defendant. You were responsible for it, and you still are. But it's not AD. It's people like JC and me and Sheila and Kiss and John and everybody else. All of us. Again, as evidenced in your community post where they're referring to us as, well, one, you're saying that we're evil, and two, they're calling her genetic code. You're allowing that bullshit.
No, they're calling me genetic toad. They can call me genetic toad. I don't care. My whole point, you know.
Read that out loud. Read it.
Well, okay, I'll read it in my best, most dramatic voice. Where the hell did it go? Refers to gang stalkers in Junior's network who work a team abused by proxy. He controls these unaware instruments. That's obviously the spelling. Suggesting that the claimant is responsible for harassing the defendant. Well, like Sam said, you know, sorry, I'm trying to do 20 things here at once. So just to let you know just waiting for Sam to come back. Gang stalkers. As we know, I mean, he was calling us gang stalkers when we were live streaming him from Grimm's, which was one of the funniest things fucking ever. I mean, you guys remember I made that Queen and Gwen Stefani remix with him, you know, citing gang stalkers. I added in some samples, but yeah, I mean, the fact that they're using this in this lawsuit to try. I mean, I don't know what you said, Sam, there, but I mean, I forgot all about that. He controls these unaware. Yeah. Okay. Suggesting that the claim is
on or around the 20th of August, 2022, the defendant published a post on YouTube at this. In this post, the defendant threatens the claimant, saying, "Frankie's coming for me alone. I've so much on him, 1,000 threats of putting me in prison. He think I can't countersue countersue his parents as well." And says he claims that 10,000 was his money. LOL. It's yours. You gave it to him. The R's haven't spent 1 cent on this. Wake up. Suggesting that the claimant's fundraising efforts are dishonest. That money that you gave, we raised on this channel, on my channel, on Nuff's channel, on Audi's channel, on Grimm's channel, on UCM's channel, on Armhair's channel, on Preach's channel.
Yep.
You didn't give 1 cent of it out of your own pocket. Sorry.
Well, and let's go back. Remember when Claire, what was Claire? I still have questions regarding why Sandy was sending. Remember the first GoFundMe, the one that Iva gave to, the first 10,000? That was whatever. We won't even get into it being replenished by Audi for certain reasons, but why was Mama Sandy sending 5,000? I still have that screenshot of Claire telling us that Mama Sandy sent her $5,000 to upload or give to Cohen Davis. Why was this money changing so many hands? Why wasn't Mama Sandy?
Because at the time she said Frank Rzucek Jr. didn't have a bank account.
If
he had his Frankie's home repairs and improvements or whatever on his Facebook page,
how was he getting paid? Cash?
How was he getting paid?
Cash in hand?
Yeah.
That makes it a whole different ball of wax for taxes too, which
There's nothing about this that is not false. He claims the 10,000 was his money. LOL. It's yours. You gave it to him. The R's haven't spent 1 cent on this. Wake up. And it's true. Nothing AD said there was wrong. And it's not a suggestion that the claimant's fundraising efforts are dishonest, but they were, and they are.
And wasn't there, if you talk about a 10K from the GoFundMe, they needed a retainer anyways, right? So that Crowd Justice Fund that was raised was raised by GoFundMe or Crowd Justice. It was never his money, ever, ever, ever.
Nope. I remember that one live stream where she was saying, "Oh, Claire Morgan is a lawyer." She in that live stream, she stated very clearly that all the money given would go straight to the Crowd Justice Fund. She promised that it would because Frank didn't have a bank account.
Yeah.
And Claire was a lawyer, and Grimm was the best. She loved everybody at Grimm. Yeah.
Better be careful. Better be very, very, very careful because her friend Claire is a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. Gratuitously tagging the claimant's surname and full name and text relating to the defendant's videos using Rzucek and Frankie Rzucek, as well as repeatedly using these names in the titles of his videos. So this is defamatory.
And these names are all in, even though the names and the whole tragedy is it completely in the public domain and is accessible, just like this stream, reading publicly accessible legal documents that is very much in the interest and concern of the public. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing.
So in the video identified as above, the defendant used the hashtags Chris Watts, Kessinger, Rzucek. In the video identified at 19 below, the defendant uses the tag Rzucek. And in a video published on the 13th of November, 2021, which was, right after all of this bullshit with the IPO and Claire Morgan and all of that, around that time.
Claire had just run for the hills. Claire had just run for the hills. The video titled
Frankie Rzucek, AD's response to your 2 letters at 1:30 Eastern, 6:30 UK. The defendant uses the tag Frankie Rzucek. The defendant has published 3 videos with the name Rzucek in the title and 2 videos with the name Frankie Rzucek in the title, along with 5 videos using the names of the claimant's parents in the title. Okay? A lot of people have, and they do. Is that why your mom told Helen Shaver to stop fucking tagging her? Because it was harassment? Asking for a bunch of fucking salty friends.
All right, then we have 12.4. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
You just you just read that one though. The defendant has published. Did you not? All right, 12.4. Making threats addressed directly to the claimant and or his family in videos published on the channel. 12.4.1. 12.1.4 above is repeated in this video. So I'm going to go back up to, because heaven forbid they actually put it in, I'm going to go back up to, what's 12.1.4? 12, I got to go, what page? Hang on, 12.1.4. So 12.1.4. On September 15th, 2021, the defendant published a video at a non-existent URL titled Armchair Detective, The Madness of YouTube, Going Real Life Legal, and Tammy Lee. Okay, hang on. Yeah, what page are you on? Are we on without me having to look at the screen?
At the very bottom of page 9. We're at 12.4.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you. 12. So 12.4.11. So 12.1.4. What the fuck were they trying to? Hold on. So it was 12.1.4. 12.1.4.1. So it's that same video. 12.4.1.1. Threatens, so that Tammy Lee going legal. Threatens the claimant over the claimant's legitimate attempts to try to seek legal redress against the defendant via the Crowd Justice page. Warning: I will raise 3 times the money that you raise and I will bankrupt you in America.
Oops, sorry. There we go.
12.4.1.2 threatens the claimant over this. I'm so glad I took this over at this point.
Oh God. Oh God.
Here we go, guys. This is where it's going to really start getting very frustrating going forward. 12.4.1.2 AD or Allen threatens the claimant over, and I'm using the biggest air quotes that are possible, a legitimate copyright complaint by the claimant and or his family against the defendant, stating, "You've got a chance here, Mr. R, to withdraw your strikes," warning the claimant to take down those strikes, and warning the claimant and the defendant, and warning the claimant that the defendant is giving him one last chance and that the defendant can't answer for the consequences. How is that defamation and harassment when Claire Morgan?
It wasn't a legitimate copyright.
Yeah, it was not a legitimate copyright strikes. It was also
not done by the claimant, and it wasn't done by his family. It was done by Claire Morgan.
Yes, and I want to quickly address something that I didn't catch yesterday when Sam was talking. I want to go back to when those strikes were laid. Originally, it was supposed to be through Frankie's account.
Yep.
We could not, myself Preach Queen and Claire. I'm going to remind people of this again because this still sticks in my head. We had a plan in place. So I had been talking with Preach and Claire, and we had come up with an idea utilizing Frankie's channel to apply all of those copyright strikes. What we had done, because we were concerned, we didn't want Frankie having to but having to relive any of this stuff through the emails of the videos that we were copyright striking. So we'd set up basically set up another email address that we were going to use simply for the copyright strike, so Frankie would not have to look at anything. Do you think I could get Frankie, pin him down to get him to allow me to either explain to him or show him how to attach that secondary email to his channel so we could go ahead and start striking? Every single time I tried to talk to him on Facebook, like I even offered to use a remote assistance where it would have taken me, guys, 10 seconds, literally 10 seconds to attach a secondary email to his channel. If he didn't want me to have remote access and do it for him, I told him, you can sit and watch. It'll take me 10 seconds. If you don't want to do it, I know he's not the most technical savvy guy. Right? No, he had to go have a nap. He wasn't feeling well. It was always some ridiculous excuse. And then he just stopped answering me. And then all of a sudden, Claire had run off on her own and laid all those strikes. So just wanted to point all that out. And then when she laid them, she utilized Frank's channel. So I'm not sure why we're talking about copyright strikes that were not even laid by Frankie himself.
The claimant. That's why I said the claimant. He didn't do it. And neither did his family. It was Claire fucking Morgan.
Yeah. And you know what? If you remember too, so let's remember. So complaint by the claimant against the defendant stating, you've got a chance here, Mr. R, to withdraw your strikes. That's because it was Claire had used Frank Rzucek Sr.'s channel. And what I find interesting is, remember at some point, and we were like, what the hell? They the family wanted and asked if they should withdraw the strikes.
Well, that's what Claire told us. She said, oh, Frank is thinking he's about dropping the strikes anyway. And I said, are you fucking kidding? After everything we've done,
she said, Sam, do you remember? She said that she had to walk Frankie off a ledge. Right. That's why they wanted. Yeah. Frank. She had to talk him off a ledge.
And all of that is in the very last live stream we did in December of 2021, right? And that is in 3 parts on JC's channel. Yeah. All of that is on that one.
You betcha. All right, so let's continue on. So yeah, they wanted to withdraw them because obviously I think at that point, I mean, this is just pure speculation, but they knew that Claire had fucked it all up. But let's move along. 12.4.2, and we were like, why would you want to? I mean, obviously we didn't know that Claire wasn't a lawyer and was fucking everything up, and it was all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. And we're like, no, we've come this far, you can't take them down.
I remember when we got this, JC, and we were going through it. You remember his channel was still up, so we were able to look at the videos that they were talking about and the posts that he had made and that they were referencing to. They were still up. But when I saw this, when it said that over legitimate copyright complaint, are you fucking kidding?
Yep.
Infuriated. We were fucking sick to our stomachs when we went through this. It was fucking disgusting, and it's disgusting now because we all know that one, they weren't legitimate. 2, it wasn't done by the claimant or his family. It was all Claire Morgan.
Exactly.
Okay, so 12.4. Go ahead, babe.
Point 2. The defendant, I'll finish this page and then I'll get you to take over because I need another copy. So I'll finish this page. We're on 12.4.2. The defendant published a video containing a threatening reference to the dissemination of a nude photograph of the claimant, which was Who's clanging the dishes back there?
John.
It's very loud.
I'm sorry. It's John.
The defendant. Okay. Are they all properly stacked now? The defendant published a video. Okay, so this is another. Here we go. Penis pump pic. The defendant published a video containing a threatening reference to the dissemination of a nude photograph of the claimant, which was taken by a former partner. Okay, I want you guys to note all this. Which was taken by a former partner of the claimant in private circumstances without the claimant's consent and subsequently placed online. So right now we are reading nothing about Alan posted it, the former partner, somebody else. So it was already posted online.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, so threatening reference to the dissemination of a nude photograph. I mean, if it's already put out online, it's already put out online.
Yeah. Yep.
It doesn't say that the defendant is responsible, which would be Alan.
That
It
shit
doesn't
had
say
already
that.
been disseminated by everybody by then.
Exactly. So, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure you notice the wording of that. So 12.5.
And y'all notice
repeatedly.
that these aren't really legitimate instances of actual defamation and harassment. The things that all of us collated to give to Cohen Davis to use in their lawsuit, right? It's all shit about the Crowd Justice Fund, about it being shady and shitty, which it was and is. And like this right here, that fucking picture was floated around and disseminated by everybody on all social media fucking platforms, and is still probably being disseminated by people. It has been since. AD never
Didn't
put it
they
up
try
on
to
his
say
page.
it was? No, he didn't, and didn't.
But that's
Didn't
what
they
you're using
deny
in
in
your
the
fucking
beginning?
lawsuit.
Didn't they deny in the beginning that it was photoshopped?
Yeah, that was one denial. It was photoshopped. It was, it was somebody else. It wasn't him. It's just Jesus Christ.
So 12.5, repeatedly referring to the alleged role of the claimant and his family in the events before and after the murders of Shanann and the children. Referring to the alleged role. What alleged role? What's the alleged role that he's referring to? Why is that not clear in here?
Because it's just not. Because these are fucking hacks.
Yeah. Events before and anyway. 12.6, publishing online in approximately January, February 2019.
Oh God.
Here we go. So here's the big here's another one that's going to anger you.
Bullshit.
Publishing online in approximately February 2019, an interview conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation with the claimant filmed in late 2018 relating to the case watch, which openly contained the claimant's telephone number and thereby disseminating the claimant's telephone number to the defendant's subscriber base and the world at large. The claimant subsequently received an influx of calls and messages on Facebook Messenger. Before we go any further, here's my question. Absolutely fuck you. Number two, the reason that interview that was with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that contained Frankie's number, that was dropped in the discovery. That first drop of the discovery came in November 2018. So by the time it should have technically and theoretically been redacted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So why are we not suing them? Why are we suing? Imagine there's been 3 months. So let's just go with what they're saying about Alan here. That discovery first drop happened in November 2018, November, December, 2 months that people were already talking about that case using that same interview. That number was already out there. To try to turn around and say that Alan maliciously doxed and put his information out when the Federal Bureau of Investigation obviously made a mistake. They weren't taking their time and proofing to make sure everything was redacted properly is absolutely ludicrous.
It is. And this
Go
is
for
fucking,
it, Sam.
this
I'm getting
is
a coffee. I'll be right back.
Publishing, I'm going to go say this again. Publishing online in January, February 2019. Don't forget at the very beginning of this, they said that his first Watts whatever was published in early or whatever 2020 or dating back to 2020. So this is a contradiction here. But in 2019, an interview conducted by the FBI that the claimant filmed in late 2018 relating to the Watts case, which openly contained the claimant's telephone number and thereby disseminating the claimant's telephone number to the defendant's subscriber base in the world at large. The claimant subsequently received an influx of calls and messages on Facebook Messenger. Fuck off, Frankie. That shit was put out everywhere. Everywhere. That's not AD's fault. It wasn't AD's fault then. It's not AD's fault now. That's the FBI's fault for not redacting your shit.
You see that?
And you already would have had a different phone number by that point, I'm sure. Because I don't think you're that stupid. So that right here is bullshit. And I will say it's bullshit. And we all know it's bullshit. I don't give a fuck. I can't stand the shit that AD would say and the way he would act online.
I read it last night on Frankie's post and he said, they stupidly left my phone number in.
Yeah.
Meaning the FBI
yes.
and CBI.
So to see this in your particular claim playing out in a fucking court case, I remember seeing this back in 2023 going, this is absolute fucking bullshit. The FBI had that out. It was in the discovery. I remember seeing that long before, or I saw parts of it, I think, long before I even heard, or AD came onto my fucking periphery or in my radar, in my atmosphere, in my fucking environment. That was already put out. But to suggest that he put it out maliciously to the subscriber base and the world at large so that way you could be harassed is fucking bullshit. You know it. Your lawyers know it. AD knows it. We all know it. It's bullshit.
See, this is how badly Claire Morgan fucked your case up the ass, because you had to come back and find what you could to put into this bullshit, right? And that's one of the things that you put in here, because Claire Morgan and fucking it up, and y'all fucking it up, you put stupid shit like this in your particular claim. I'd be willing to go down to the court. I'd be willing to shout it to the fucking rooftops. Anybody with an ounce of integrity would, because everybody knows that your phone number was in that. The FBI didn't redact it. AD didn't have shit to do with nothing. Okay, so publishing false and defamatory allegations about the claimant on the channel as pleaded below. Jesus Christ. The course of conduct, as particularized at 12 above.
What is that little symbol supposed to be? Anyway, can you figure out what that is? Because I can't. Should we ask Claire?
Claire? We'll drop the link for you. Can you come up and explain this to us? What those little symbols are? Section, I believe, or subsection. 12 above. Sorry. Pursued by the defendant is oppressive and unacceptable and constitutes harassment contrary to S.1 PHA 1997. The defendant's conduct has been committed within the jurisdiction of the court via the medium of the internet. The defendant's focus on the Watts case and events in the USA. The medium of publication used by the defendant in the targeting of the claimant and his family via that medium have made it inevitable and wholly foreseeable that his publications and conduct have intruded into the claimant's life, including via the lives of his parents in the USA, and caused the claimant to be harassed. Well, by that rationale, son, do you know how many people have been harassed by people saying they're working for you?
Well, what about all the other channels that discuss that case? None of them are inevitably and wholly foreseeably intrusive into your life. That, unfortunately, not trying to be an asshole, but that discovery dump is all in the public domain. This is something that is all part of the public domain, just like reading these particular claim details. There's nothing wrong with reading publicly available records and something that's in public interest.
We're getting to some, we're getting to some really juicy shit here, because this is where I believe he's saying he's being tormented, right? Tormented by the regurgitated AD content that people like us always put online. So who knew, even though he was commenting on our channels.
Oh yeah, okay. This is still going to get good. Definitely get
in the context of the publication of 184 videos at a minimum about the Watts case, the defendant's persistent publication to his significant channel subscription base and to the world at large of videos, which falsely implicate the claimant and his family in a cover-up around the deaths of his sister and her children, is obviously hugely distressing to the claimant. Not only is it making it impossible for the claimant properly to grieve for his family or achieve any kind of recovery from the traumatic events that befell them, but it is also refreshing or generating fresh trauma for the claimant by perpetually linking him to a false narrative around those events and foreclosing any possibility that he can reconcile himself to the tragedy and move forward with his life. In this regard, the defendant's conduct represents a serious and wholly unjustifiable intrusion into the claimant's private life, including as protected by Article 8, European Convention on Human Rights. The defendant's targeting of the claimant by tagging the claimant's surname and full name in text relating to the defendant's videos. Sorry, let me move this up. His videos, by the defendant's use of those names in the titles of his videos, has resulted in the defendant's videos constantly appearing in the claimant's Google's newsfeed. Well, let's read that, start at that again, okay? The defendant's targeting of the claimant by tagging the claimant's surname and full name in text relating to the defendant's videos, and by the defendant's use of those names in the titles of his videos, has resulted in the defendant's videos constantly appearing in the claimant's Google News feed. The inevitable result of this is that the claimant cannot avoid the defendant's online campaign about him and about the deaths of Shanann and the children.
So never mind mainstream media. Never mind mainstream. Let me just interrupt. Never mind all the mainstream media news about it, and forget about all the other hundreds of thousands of channels on YouTube talking about it. How about the mainstream media that sunk their teeth into it for how very long? Come on.
Yeah, such that the intrusion into an invasion of his privacy is heightened and intensified. The defendant's making of direct threats to the claimant in videos published on the channel in response to the claimant's legitimate attempts to exercise his legal rights has caused great alarm to the claimant, reinforcing the claimant's sense that the defendant is deliberately targeting him and making the claimant fear that he has no route available to him to prevent the defendant from pursuing his harassing course of conduct
which will not in turn exacerbate the conduct and its effect on him. The defendant's publication of a reference to the dissemination of a nude photograph of the claimant online is hugely distressing to the claimant, representing as it does an obviously oppressive threat to publicize a private, intimate image of the claimant, captured without his consent to the world at large.
So hang on, stop right there. So now, what does that seem like they're saying right there, that Alan has put it out? Is that how I want to go back. I'm trying to find the original.
Alan's publication of a reference to him saying, I might talk about the nude photograph, is hugely distressing to the claimant, representing as it does an obviously oppressive threat to publicize a private, intimate image of the claimant.
So is that more distressing than the person that actually put out the photograph in the first place that wasn't Alan?
I don't know. I suppose it is.
Okay, good to know. Just was curious there. Carry on.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. You ready? Get your notebooks. You might want to get to a fresh page of paper here, kids, in your notebooks, okay?
It's all downhill from here.
Let's take a sip of coffee, too, to wet our whistle before we get into this long-ass fucking paragraph. It's longer than some of the shit that you-know-who writes on your fucking page. All right. On August 23rd, 2021, the claimant set up a Crowd Justice fundraising page in order to pursue a legal complaint over online abuse, known as the Crowd Justice page. The Crowd Justice page does not name the defendant. Yes, it fucking does.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does fucking now. Does.
It didn't in the beginning, but they sure have it there now.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But they're saying on August 2021, right? But it does. The defendant's subsequent publication of defamatory and seriously harmful allegations about the claimant on the channel to the world at large in circumstances where those allegations arise from, and deliberately misinterpreting the claimant's attempts to obtain legal redress against the defendant over his harassing conduct, have caused the claimant great alarm and distress. But because he said that you were scamming people out of their fucking money and good luck getting a refund from this fucking bastard? It was true. In the end, it was all true, wasn't it? It is true.
Absolutely.
Gee, what did I say? We were the keepers of the fucking Crowd Justice Fund, right?
Yes, you did. The keepers of the Crowd Justice Fund.
Here we are again. Here we are again. Jesus Christ. The claimant will rely on the matters pleaded at subsection 1930 below in relation to his claim in defamation, and on the fact that the defendant's campaign of defamation and harassment has led the claimant to fear that whichever route he pursues to seek to prevent the defendant from harassing him and his parents, the defendant will exploit it to use against the claimant and his family as part of the defendant's ongoing publication of conspiracy theories about Shanann and the children.
So they say exploit. I say Alan's defending himself and speaking truth.
What now? Ben? It doesn't matter. What matters is that, and that's why I said this, when we saw this, that's when we knew that Claire really did fuck everything up, because now everything centers around the goddamn Crowd Justice page. Them saying, you see the FBI docs him, but they're saying Alan did it maliciously in 2019. That was before, were they mods at the time? Were you mods then? Or was that after or before? I can't remember. Yeah, weren't they mods on AD's channel? Was it after 2019? January, February 2019?
I don't know. That sounds
Can
about
anybody
right.
answer that question?
I know there's that screenshot of them in the chat. I'm trying to think. No, fuck. If they were, then that might have been the time. I have a feeling though. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not going to answer that because I don't know when they were mods. I never saw them in there as mods. I just remember seeing them in there about the reading of the email, the letter, and they weren't mods then. They were telling him to stop. So I don't know.
Well, they were still in there, and that's when he said, or he just banned me and my dad from my page. I remember that video. So it was after 2019. Okay, so anyway, going back.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead. The defendant derives financial benefit from promoting conspiracy theories about the deaths of Shanann and the children and about the claimant via income generated by the channel and the Patreon page. Defendant's conscious and deliberate creation and perpetuation of falsehoods around the tragic events that befell the claimant's family for financial gain has deeply hurt the claimant and caused him significant fucking distress. 13.8. The claimant will rely on the sheer volume and persistent... Oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
The claimant will rely on the sheer volume and persistent, relentless nature of the publications, some of which are addressed to him directly, that the defendant has made about him to the defendant's subscriber base, and to the world at large in contending that the defendant's conduct is harassing for the purposes of PHA 1997.
So 13 points. Oh,
sorry, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Finish the page. I'll start reading on 14. Sorry, I just started interjecting.
The defendant's followers and supporters have republished the defendant's false and highly intrusive conspiracy theories about the claimant and his family on YouTube. How many channels are out there doing or putting out worse shit than AD ever did? Right now, as we speak. Daily, weekly.
Well, never mind that. I'd like to know why Alan is responsible for the actions of everybody else.
Well, we'll get to remember what it says at the end. All of his agents are
Yeah,
those working on behalf of him.
Yeah.
So the claimant has also received messages sent directly to him on Facebook Messenger, which have referred to the defendant and made reference to the defendant's theories. These responses to the defendant's online campaign of disinformation against the claimant and his family were wholly foreseeable and have caused great alarm and distress to the claimant, heightening the sense of intrusion and invasion to his private life.
So wholly foreseeable, a possibility, is now all of a sudden, what's the word I'm looking for, is
expected?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
By reason of the defendant's harassment of the claimant has suffered damage, alarm, anxiety, and distress, entirely without prejudice to the burden of proof that the defendant is under in this regard. The course of conduct pursued by the defendant was not.
15.1 was not pursued for the purpose of preventing or detecting crime. It was not pursued under any enactment or rule of law to comply with any condition or requirement imposed by any person under any enactment. 3, was not pursued reasonable in the particular circumstances. Again, that to me would be an opinion, but okay. 16, the claimant will, should the defendant, oh my God, the claimant will, should the defendant seek to rely on the defense at S.1, bracket 3, bracket A, PH 1997, that's that harassment act, contend that there can be no objectively rational basis for any belief by the defendant that the harassing course of conduct pursued by him was and or is necessary to prevent or detect crime. So basically they're saying there's nothing that Alan, am I understanding this correctly? Nothing Alan can say can be taken as an objective rational basis. Is that what they're essentially saying?
To detect, prevent crime. That
okay.
He was, okay.
17, the claimant will, should the defendant seek to rely on the defense at S.1, bracket 3C, PHA 1997, contend that in the particular circumstances of this case, the defendant cannot satisfy the requirements of the objective test provided for by that provision. 18, to the extent necessary and entirely without prejudice to the burden of proof that defendant is under in this regard, the claimant will contend that any Article 10 ECHR rights or other justifications in law which a defendant may establish are clearly, that's my word, you can't have my word, clearly outweighed by the claimant's right under Article 8 ECHR. So this is a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that I'm not even going to try to read into.
Let's not disseminate that.
I was going to use that word, but there you beat me to it. All right. So now we're getting into defamation, guys. Here we go. Publications. Number 19. On November 13, 2021, the defendant published a video on the channel that no longer exists at a URL that no longer exists under the title Frank, Sandra, and Frankie Rzucek. Please pay attention. Video 1. Containing the following words defamatory and seriously harmful of the claimant. 7 minutes and 31 seconds. It's all a trick.
Oh, God.
Yeah. 7 minutes and 31 seconds in this video. It's all a trick. All you've done is taken money off of all these people and give it to this solicitor who's already spent it. And then we need more. Then he said we need more. Oh, you've been outdone, haven't you, Frankie? They want more money. So you have to go back and ask for more money and where that will take you. They said it themselves. This is what they want. This is what they and you want. Money, money, money.
Yep.
I'm going to fully agree with that. I fully agree with that.
Yep.
8 minutes and 31 seconds. This is all stuff that Alan said in this video. Because
this is
that
what
no
they're
longer
saying
exists.
is defamatory. This is what they're saying is defamation. Can you
Yep.
fucking believe this bullshit?
So,
sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No. You don't have to apologize. 8 minutes, 31 seconds. Again, we're still quoting. Because the case is funded through donations, mugs, they got your money. So they don't mind that going as long as Frankie gets the settlement. Never was about justice. It's about money, 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 money. That's exactly what we've been saying. It's not about justice at all.
No, it's not.
1535. Let me tell you, it's all about money for them. They will fleece every penny you can raise, but you're going to need that because I'm bringing a lawsuit against you and your family for closing down my channel fraudulently, perjury, closing down my book, and loss of earnings. That's real. That's not allegations. That's facts. 2144. I don't like what Frankie said. It's total defamation. It's total loss of earnings. Oh dear. What did your mom do? What did your mom do? Phoning my phone, my publisher, and told him not to publish my book. If I had a penny for every time his parents say, this is Frankie's this, this is Frankie's this, this is Frankie's nothing to do with us because they don't want to get taken to court because they've got a house. It's all on Frankie. Well, it's not. It's all three of you. And I am going to quickly interject. Well, yeah, because it'll continue.
Well, we can because they said his parents. They keep mentioning his parents in this particular claim. Not just Frankie, but his family, his parents.
But again, the lawsuit is only under Frankie's name.
Yeah.
Mama Sandy and Frank Sr. are not tied to this because, again, let's remember, they want to make it appear because Frankie doesn't have any money. He's got no means of being able to raise funds and be able to defend himself. Obviously, we know that Sandy and Frankie, there's been money collected and they can't attach themselves to it because they'd be able to pay for it very easily. So anyways, I'm sat in there with no money because my channel has been down for 6 weeks. That's right. It was a month and a half. I had no access to the channel. So I've got medical bills to pay. I've got Christmas coming. I've got all sorts of problems in my life. And I was shut down by lies. They don't own any copyrights.
How is that fucking defamation?
Bingo.
It's the truth. You did shut down his channel for 6 weeks with lies because you didn't have the copyright.
Yep.
Again,
and there were false copyright strikes.
They were false.
Frankie Rzucek, who has a fund to come and get me and clap me in irons. This is my rebuttal. I believe it's a fraudulent fund and I've done nothing wrong. How is that defamation and harassment? I believe it's a fraudulent fund. I believe it's a fraudulent fund too. I guess I'll be waiting for to be served.
I don't know.
Again, where is he saying? I suggest the wording they're used. Nowhere have I seen anything.
These are not instances of defamation. This is just maddening. It is so beyond frustrating.
Hi, Roberta.
It infuriates me. It absolutely infuriates me. Especially since
Tracy.
we've had this since 2023 and we haven't said anything about it, right?
Yeah, but this is the first time we've publicly come out with the actual claim details. We've had it.
Yes.
I was sent it in September 2023. As Sam showed you yesterday, it was signed by Junior on March 10th, 2023.
So the fact is
that right there proves they had to start all over again because why would the particulars of claim be dated so late?
Yes, because they waited like a plus 6 months of, so I can't remember. After you got in touch with the SRA, that's what it was. I thought, well, that's interesting. But see,
I contacted Cohen Davis in July of 2022 about Claire.
Yes. Yeah.
So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So 9 months later, now they have this particulars of claim for Frankie to sign.
Yes. See, this is the thing, and that's why I said.
But he's held everything back. He's the one that's delayed it all. And yes, Tracy, this is mostly about the crowd justice.
Yes, it is. And shit, like the FBI, the interview, they didn't remove his phone number. So when AD played it on his channel, they said that was at the very beginning of 2019. And if memory serves correctly, they still were they had not become mods yet, or they were about to become. They were either mods or they were going to become mods. So. But they put it on him that he put that out maliciously, and people, started calling him and all this other shit. But it's just bullshit. And it is not defamation. It was lies. The copyright, those were lies. But if it's 6 months, you have to, or do you have a year for defamation?
I thought it would. I don't know. It's in the UK. I'm not sure anymore. But yes, Tracy, isn't this interesting? I'm glad you picked out. This is all about the crowd justice. What is this having to hold AD to account for everything he did in term? Like, this is all more about crowd justice.
I'm so glad that you're saying that, and y'all are catching it. Not that we have to jam it down y'all's throats collectively, but the fact is that all that when we saw this, JC, when you were pulling up that video, this is what I was saying. When we saw this, that's when we knew that Claire Morgan really fucked it up the ass, because everything centered mostly around the Crowd Justice Fund. And these instances of defamation we knew were false. What I couldn't believe that I saw anything about copyright strikes in this particular claim, because we all know the debacle in the shit show that was. We all know what happened. We all know how that played out.
And then they have, and knowing how it played out, they still have the fucking audacity, unmitigated audacity to put that in that particulars of claim and calling them legit copyright strikes.
Yep. Yurko knows that shit wasn't legit. You know that.
But we're the ones lying. It's only Frankie Rzucek that's telling the truth all the time, every time. The whole rest of the world is lying.
I reject that.
Let's move on.
I refuse for you to even say that anymore. It's just fucking disgusting.
So just to let you know, I have about 45 more minutes and then I have to go. So let's I'm going to pick this up a little bit.
Okay,
so on November 14, 2021, published a video that no longer exists on a channel that no longer exists called Frankie Rzucek's UK solicitor, Cohen Davis. Let's take a good look. Video 2, containing the following words: defamatory and seriously harmful. Someone thinks that Frankie's getting scammed by the law firm. I don't know about that. As most of you know, he's begging towards 25K. It's now 75K on Crowd Justice. This is a while ago. So people are on to him. People want their money back. People want their money back. Again, how's that defamation? That's true.
And
people did want
truth.
their money back.
Yep. And they still want it now. A lot more people want their money back now.
You know, and he's suggesting, I mean, the only organization or the only entity that's won in all this is Cohen Davis. They've collected all that money. So anyways, and those people who have given money to this fundraiser, best of luck getting your money back. If you, oh God, this is so poor. This was clearly not proofread at all. Best of luck getting your money back if you ask for it. If you ask for it, we know that. This is actually Alan speaking. Sorry. I'm just a word here from Lisa. He solicited for money for 4 years. Now people are getting fed up with it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being chased down by him and his family. I really am. I'm the one that lost money because of this, not them. Those people that gave money, have a right to know an audited account of where the money went. I have an open source code. Anyone who requested for a refund gets it. Anyone wants to know where the money was? Bubbles will tell you. Oh God, there's a name we haven't heard in forever. We even got I Have a Problem working for us. Remember, she was willing to show receipts or something. Anyways, we show either what we spend our money on. We show either what we spend our money on or what he has ever showed you for the 10,000. What has he showed for you for the 30,000? Zero, Frankie. It's not right. Those people have asked for their money back and you won't even answer them. And he still to this day won't. Yep.
You fucking bastard.
You know, it's all about what I found here is the obsession and interest is all about perception, not truth. Continuing on, I'm getting hate because of what solicitor said on a case that doesn't exist. One of two things. Either Frankie is working with them and they're in it together, or he panicked and went to them in desperation and was like, you've got to put something out. These people are driving me crazy. On January 1st, 2022, defendant published a video on a channel that a video and a channel that no longer exists anymore called I'm Done. Here's my opinion on the whole damn thing. Video 3, containing the following words: defamatory and seriously harmful of the claimant. All I've said is Chris Watts did not act alone. You, on the other hand, have got my book closed down, tried to get my channel closed down, and lied about me nonstop. There's a slight difference, don't you think? How many more GoFundMe to get people? How many more people are going to get? And then it just ... They're not getting the sympathy they used to get. They're not saints. Shanann's not a saint, and Frankie Jr. has never been a saint. It's disgusting what they're doing to me, tormenting me year after year. For what? Proving that Shanann didn't kill the children. They don't like it because I earn money. People told them to make a fortune. I think he meant people told them I make a fortune.
Yeah.
But I don't. My books made minus money. I know that he was in trouble because everybody complained that they gave him $10,000 to do whatever he said he's going to do. He didn't do it. This is the original GoFundMe. And he never gave receipts on what happened to the money. So I have no doubt that he's in trouble. I think that, I don't know, to be honest with you, that's the rumor. But again, he never tells us nothing. Does he? Where's the $10,000 he was given? Does that not tell you? Where's the 35,000 he's raised? Where is that? Don't tell you. Oh, day before my birthday, January 30th.
Yeah, nothing about that is defamatory, and it's the truth.
Hey, buddy, how are you? YouTube lady Reich also ripped into FRJ for demanding money from Lifetime Movies and blocked him from his channel, foraging him for not supporting the cash grab. This is America. Absolutely, he did. Okay, where was I? Yes, as I started to say, the day before my birthday, January 2022, the defendant published a no longer existent video on a channel that no longer exists titled Chris Watts. AD tells you all of his private personal connections to the family and Chris Watts contacts. Video 4 containing the following words: defamatory and seriously harmful. Young Frankie said that if I was in America, you'd be arrested for harassment, swearing at me, telling me I'm going to prison, mentally torturing me. I could easily do something about it, but I don't. They stopped my book, destroyed my book, made her spend £10,000 on my book trying to save it, tried to shut my channel down with perjury and lies, and almost succeeded. How did it come from Frankie saying that, how's the poker going? Frankie saying, who said the case is closed? Maybe it's not how does it come from that to this? I cannot tell you.
What is defamatory?
It's hard.
I don't get it.
Nope.
What part is defamatory?
And again, nowhere has any of this said the defendant has claimed or stated as fact. He suggested, he speculated. Anyways, moving along. August 17, 2022. Alan published a no longer existent video on a no longer existent channel titled Right to Reply to Frankie, wanting to sue AD and put him in prison. Again, apparently and allegedly containing defamatory and seriously harmful words. It's a vendetta. Any judge in my country can see you're victimizing me and me alone on this crusade, and you've gathered this gang and these network of like pitchfork crusaders all around you to get me. And all they do is make films about me. I used to laugh when he would say that. He used to make films about me. It's all been logged. This is Frank Rzucek Jr., who's been inciting hatred against me for 4 years. He has incited hatred of me that I've never seen. He's changed my life. I've had to move house. I no longer feel safe in my own country. And it's endless. He's under the trolls' videos every day, praising them and getting them to attack me more. And again, what's defamatory about that? There is so much evidence. Frankie, I can just, from my own channel alone, again, claiming to be suffering and unable to grieve under our videos debunking AD. Ha, 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 laughing my ass off. Good video.
Yeah.
How is that showing the anger or whatever, the distress, the anxiety? I mean, anyways, it's completely hypocritical and contradictory. I don't normally laugh at things that torture me.
Yeah.
Not continuously, maybe a nervous laugh, but he was out there, big claps, right? Ha, 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 good video. Anyways, continuing on, I've been sent death threats over my phone over the years. I don't tell you, I don't play them to you, but he's taking me to court. And in my right to reply, I'm going to play you just one of the incitements that he created by telling people to call me. This is one call I got because Junior told people to call me. So yeah, there was a post that Frankie had made way back in the day. This was before my time, but so he wants to suggest that Alan is guilty of defamation and harassment because he played an interview that was in the discovery, in the actual discovery that the FBI or CBI did not redact themselves, but it's okay that Junior had put up a post telling people to call Alan. That's perfectly fine.
This right here is what really fucking pissed me off. So I'm going to read it, okay? And again, it's just this little tiny snippet. It'll be decontextualized to that extent. Frankie Rzucek, with a friend like this, you don't need any enemies. This man has single-handedly ruined your case because you've worked with a gang-stalking team and you back him and you talk to him and you encourage him. And he's the one that stalked me to hotel rooms and you encourage him. And he's talking about Martin Dehan.
Yep. Frankie Rzucek, with a friend like... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it is true. Sorry, I thought you were done. I didn't mean
Read it again. Read it again, just for dramatic effect. Read it again, JC.
I have been sent death threats over my phone over the years.
The next one.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're so bossy. All right, I got my shit together now. Frankie Rzucek, with a friend like this, you don't need enemies. Now we're talking. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, we're talking about Martin Dehan. Yeah. All right, starting now. Frankie Rzucek, with a friend like this, you don't need any enemies. This goblin has single-handedly ruined your case because you've worked as a gang-stalking team, and you back him, and you talk to him, and you encourage him, and he's the one that stalked me to hotel rooms, and you encourage him. Yep. How often was Frankie under Martin Goblin Dehan's videos?
And way back in October of 2021, we had that live stream where we were saying he's a fucking liability and tell Frankie to stay away from his fucking page. And Claire said that she talked to you about that morning and that she sent you emails. And Arm here was saying, yeah, he's a liability. We don't want him under any of his shit.
I need water.
Yep, we don't want
Damn, I'll be right back.
That Frankie is okay with all the shit that Martin does. We played that live stream. It's still up on JC's channel, that part. And that was in October of 2021. So when I saw that, I said, yep. And it did come back to bite him in the ass. But here you are using that as an instance of defamation when it's the absolute fucking truth. It's the absolute fucking truth. And the campaign of hate and stalking and going real life and threats that he has made, I'm just going to use one. If you hear anything I say, Frank Rzucek Jr., one threat made to me. I know where she's staying. She'll be gone soon. Gotcha, salty. That's the fucker, the toothless fucking shitbag that he's talking about at 2307. Your friend, Martin Dehan. That's the shit that he does on your behalf. He's doing that still on your behalf. There's nothing wrong with anything that AD said then. And this is the shit that I've been saying years. And I stated it to y'all in your family in August, September, and October of 2021. That's why you didn't have Martin Dehan being a part of shit. Ain't that a kick in the ass, folks? Ain't that a kick in my big old brass balls? Seeing that play out in your particulars of claim. So 2632, this vendetta has to stop. Because you've employed a whole bunch of crazies that have threatened to kill me. You, Frankie Rzucek, I'm accusing you of putting my life in danger. Well, again, what was the threat that the Norwegian shit show, his biggest fucking meat writer, Martin Dehan's the biggest fucking Frank Rzucek Jr. meat writer. What did he say about me? I know where she's staying. She'll be gone soon. Gotcha, salty. He's still doing it. You don't think that I didn't feel like I was in danger when I saw that? That the authorities and the proper people weren't contacted? You're fucking right, they were.
I was choking on it. I swallowed a coffee ground.
Oh, God. Sue the barista. I don't want to hear it. Well, I mentioned again, Frank, I was threatened to be murdered thanks to you. That is violence, believe it or not. Those phone calls of violence, you fanned the flames. And let's not forget that not too long ago, somebody went to AD's old apartment and threw a goddamn brick through his fucking window, scaring the shit out of the senior citizen lady that lives there.
What you know about that, Scott? Have you talked to the police about that yet? Or are you still
What do you know about that, Frank Rzucek Jr.?
Martin Dehan, you know anything about that? Since you seem to know where he lives.
So I'll mention again, Frank, I was threatened to be murdered thanks to you. That is violence. Believe it or not, those phone calls are violence. You fanned the flames. Somebody actually went and threw that fucking rock, that big ass fucking brick, through that old lady's window. The apartment that AD used to live in. And yes, absolutely, we all know, going back years and years and years, when Martin Dehan was
and let's also make because I'm not sure if this is I've mentioned this yet before, but I am going to now. Before that brick was thrown through that window of that poor old lady that now lives there, they were buzzing whoever, Scott, whoever, if it was you, your friend, whoever
allegedly,
it was.
Allegedly, in our opinion, speculating, of course.
Yes, of course. Allegedly, I believe it's Scott, but anyways, I mean that photo is exactly what it is. But anyways, before the brick was actually thrown, there was a few nights in a row that they were just holding the buzzer to the apartment, scaring the shit out of this woman.
I want to answer Kiss as I see Kiss. I have my phone next to me. She said, I still want to know how Dehan knows your immigration status, Salty, confidential information that he can't have obtained legally. He doesn't know anything. He said, oh, well, what was it he said? Something about being back in Edinburgh or whatever. And then he went full balls and said, oh, she's here illegally. How the fuck would I have gotten into a country on a Monday if my visa expired or I was here illegally on a Wednesday? You fucking creep. You psychotic monster. He doesn't know shit. But he knows that he wrote that threat. And that was a real threat to me. And karma is a thing, even if it does come from Texas. We're at 5202.
Did I even get that 52? No, I know where we're. Wait, 5202. What?
That's where we're at.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, sorry, I started choking. So I will fight this to the end because you are stalking me. I can't believe my interpretive dramatic reading got interrupted because of choking. But anyways, let's try not to choke now. I
tried to do
no, that was my fault. I will fight this to the end because you are stalking me. You and your gangs are stalking me and putting me in danger. I've had death threats. I've got loads of phone calls. You've broken the UK Data Protection Act of 2018, the General Data Protection Regulation of Europe as well. You know that good old general GDPR that Martin used to shove down everybody's throat that really had nothing to do with nothing? And the electronic communications devices all broken. Defamatory meaning, 24. The words complained of in video 1 meant and would be understood. Oh, would be understood, not understood, would be, says who? To mean that Frankie Rzucek is guilty of having raised money to make a complaint about Alan Vinnicombe on a fraudulent basis. I think that's true. In that his real interest is not complaining about misinformation, but enriching himself, and he is guilty of dishonesty and lying to the court in relation to copyright complaints about.
Fucking kidding me!
He is lying to the court. He is lying to the court about the copyright.
I have to read this out loud to absorb it. I'm sorry. The words complained of in video 1 meant and would be understood to mean that Frank Rzucek is guilty of having raised money to make a complaint about Alan Vinnicombe on a fraudulent basis, and that his real interest is not in complaining about misinformation, but in enriching himself, and he is guilty of dishonesty and lying to the court in relation to copyright complaints about Alan Vinnicombe's child. You did lie about the fucking copyrights, and you're not even the one that fucking filed them. So how are they in your particulars of claim, Frank Rzucek Jr.?
Yeah,
those were done by Claire Morgan on behalf of your father. I am outraged. Yep. Outraged. And all of the collective work that we did ended up in a shit show like this.
Here's the thing.
Flat out lie.
Not even following through with the copyright strikes. Right there. That proves they're false. You didn't even follow through. Well, you couldn't follow through, but you have nothing to prove that those copyright strikes, other than Frank Rzucek Sr.'s YouTube studio, showing more info required for 3 or 2 double-digit 30+ copyright strikes. How is that legitimate copyright strikes? They were false, and you know it. And this is actually, what was that you were saying yesterday? He basically signing off that he's not lying.
The words complained of in video 2 meant and would be understood to mean that there are reasonable grounds to suspect that Frankie Rzucek has failed to be honest or transparent about his fundraising, that he has deceived his supporters to raise money on a dishonest basis, and that he has colluded with his solicitors to deceive and defraud the public via fundraising. How many people have asked you for a goddamn refund after they knew that the whole thing was just a fucking farce? They knew that Claire Morgan fucked this up. They wanted their money back. But instead, you went quiet. You disappeared. You refused to be accountable and transparent with your backers. Everything about it was sleazy and scummy and scammy. And to see it play out in your particulars of claim in a court case, because Claire Morgan fucked you up so badly that you had to start all over again. And this is the shit that you went with. This is what you went with. You were never transparent or open with your donors. And
still haven't been to this day.
Neither your solicitors nor you have ever been open and transparent about that crowd justice fund. Ever. I'm outraged.
The words complained of in video 3 meant and would be understood. Oh, that would be understood. Love it. To mean that Frankie Rzucek has harassed and persecuted Alan Vinnicombe for years in a malicious response to Alan Vinnicombe raising questions about the deaths of his family members. And that Frankie Rzucek has defrauded the public by failing to be honest, transparent about the money he has raised to make a legal complaint and is facing serious consequences as a result. He has completely failed. How is misleading, deliberately misleading, and duping the public to raise money, collecting money from the public based on an assertion from AD that Frankie has a criminal record, when in fact he does have a criminal record? How is that not defrauding the public? How is that not failing to be honest? How is that not failing to be transparent about the money you raised?
How?
I'll wait.
Nothing
We're going to be
about
here for a
you.
long fucking time.
Nothing about you or those that still say that they support you, Frankie, is honest and transparent, regardless of their protestations otherwise. This is a slap in my face, and in Audie's face, and in Preach's face, in TJ's face, in everybody's, Cheryl's face, Lizzie's, Carrie Ann, Nuff, Preach, UCM, Val, Helen. It's a slap in all of our fucking faces. Because
even Cartoon Loon, on all of them, still
even all of you
choose to defend this shit.
None of it, never once has he publicly come out and answered any questions about the Crowd Justice Fund. Never has he given any of his backers or donors any words of passivity. He couldn't even do that. Just no, everything is going swimmingly. The end by Frank Rzucek Jr. I'll talk to y'all next November. I'll have something. Never. People have contacted them repeatedly to get their money back. And they have been stonewalled. They have been ignored. And guess what? They have been abused. You have people that have been harassed and abused on this platform and many others online and offline when they have been asking repeatedly for you to be transparent and open and honest, right? And that they want their money back. What do they get? What do they get? They get threats. They get harassment. They get abuse.
Let's also point out Cartoon Loon. Remember when you tried to make a big joke and suggested that you were going to use your husband's credit card to refund the people that wanted the Crowd Justice donations returned? You made a big mockery out of that. Oh, we're going to find. You never had any intentions on doing that, but you turned it into quite the fucking farce, didn't you? Didn't you, Cartoon Loon? It was so funny.
Yeah, everything is. I love the minimization. Whenever y'all say, "Oh, LOL, laughy," the minimization is so disgusting from
all of them.
Every single one of you. I can't believe. See, I feel so outraged right now. Morally, I am outraged because collectively, everything that we did was shit. It just went to shit because of Claire Morgan. Regardless of how you want to whitewash it, you can't rewrite history. I don't give a fuck how hard you fucking try. Okay. Don't forget, this is PG. This is not PG-13, so I am cursing. Sorry, not sorry. But let me say this really quickly, okay? God damn it. That is his account with Crowd Justice. Frank Rzucek Jr. wrote on then. There. The basis of this is he says that I have a criminal history, and I don't. Yair Cohen, you know that your client does have a criminal history. He was arrested. His mugshot was removed by the Honor Network / Lenny Posner. And it was then put into an Honor Network shoot-off group for Shanann Watts, where we were mass reporting people like AD and others on YouTube and other social media platforms. He put that mugshot in there. Mrs. Rzucek came in, and then your client did, demanding to know why he put that up. He never said, that's not me. He never said it was my evil twin cousin. He never said that's a doppelganger. He never said that's AI. He never denied it. He never. He is lying on that Crowd Justice page. You are lying on behalf of your client if you're suggesting that is the case, because he does have a record and you know it. So it is fraudulent. So thank you watching the fake detectives or whack jobs, or sorry, whatever you're calling yourself now.
I'm going to post the link to the North Carolina Department of Adult Corrections Offender Public Information List. I'm going to put the link in right now, and y'all can go see it yourself. So he has misled and duped the public, all of the world, soliciting donations based on the fact he's trying to say that AD's lying, when in fact AD's not lying.
No wonder why you wanted her JC's SRA complaint video removed so quickly. I mean, you never heard of Claire Morgan, but I have conversations that she showed us with you, again, Yair Cohen, asking her if, Claire, do you know what defamation is, so you know what you're looking for? I have those communications from your portal in your case management system. So again, tell us we're lying. Y'all are some scammy fucking bastards.
Sam, that was included in the SRA complaint. I included a screenshot. I didn't send them the actual link to the StreamYard, but I included that screenshot of Claire showing, and they still tried to say, oh, there's no evidence here. There's no evidence here. Cohen Davis is claiming they know nothing, even with the link of the Cohen Davis client portal right up there. No, Cohen Davis has never had any association with her.
Yeah. The words complained of in video 5 meant would be understood to mean that Frank Rzucek is guilty of harassment and of persistently causing and inciting hatred and serious threats of violence, including death threats to be made against Alan Vinnicombe, that he has endangered Alan Vinnicombe's life, and that he has acted unlawfully by infringing Alan Vinnicombe's data protection rights. Well, I know that a fucking big-ass rock ended up through Alan Vinnicombe's window in the apartment that he used to live, because the only people that still publicly support you on this platform in particular are the ones that are doing that. So I can see the correlation there. Substantial publication. Pending disclosure and or exchange of witness statements and or responses to requests for further information, the claimant does not know the precise extent of publication of each videos 1 through 5 within the jurisdiction of the court. In support of this case, that each of videos 1 through 5 was substantially published, including within the jurisdiction of the court, the claimant will rely upon the following facts and matters. And isn't that also a kick in the ass? All of the fucking videos and everything else that he did, all of those years, everything that we compiled and collated and sent to them, that it comes down to videos 1 through 5, and none of them talk about anything but the goddamn Crowd Justice Fund and people like Martin Dehan and the fuckery that he's caused. That's literally what it's all about. The number of subscribers to the channel at the material time on 13 November 2021, the channel had 67,000 subscribers. The number of views of each video as of the date of these particular claim. Video 1, 26,000 views. Video 2 had approximately 5,700 views. Video 3, 22,900. Video 4, approximately 10.6. Video 5 had approximately 8.9 thousand views. The level of engagement with each video through comments posted on the relevant YouTube page. And again, none of these videos exist anymore anyway. So the fact that a significant proportion of the defendant's subscribers and viewers are based within England and Wales. In support of this contention, the claimant will rely upon the following facts and matters. The defendant, as is apparent from the content of the channel, is English, and it is to be inferred that even where the focus of the channel is in the USA, he is likely to attract English viewers with an interest in the events which are the focus of the channel. Above is repeated. The defendant attracts significant numbers of viewers for content which is published on the channel with a specific UK focus. The defendant's fundraising activities on Patreon, which are related to the channel and the content which he posts on it, are focused on the UK, and he invites subscribers to fund him in pounds sterling. Just like Frank Rzucek Jr. has been asking, well, I guess for dollars on his PayPal. And is it pound sterling for his Crowd Justice page? Because that's based here with your coin. Serious harm. The publication of each of videos 1 through 5 is caused and or is likely to cause serious harm to the reputation of the claimant at common law and for the purposes of S1(1) of the Defamation Act of 2013 within the jurisdiction of the court. In support of this contention, the claimant will rely on the following facts and matters. Jesus Christ. The serious defamatory meaning borne by each of the videos 1 through 5 is set out above. The allegations of harassment of the defendant and dishonest. Oh, I can't. I'm mad. I'm angry. The allegations of harassment of the defendant and dishonest fundraising from the public for a complaint relating to the deaths of Shanann and the children concerned alleged activities on the part of the claimant, which are the subject of significant adverse sentiment and condemnation amongst reasonable people like me that know the truth. Knew that he was a fucking grifter.
Baby.
AD was a fucking grifter, and guess what? Frankie, you have shown me nothing but that you're a fucking grifter too.
Bingo.
I'm a reasonable person. The extent of publication of each video is above is repeated. The defendant purports to be an expert on the subject of the Watts case and is falsely claimed in this regard to be endorsed by Chris Watts and to have ongoing access to key law enforcement personnel who worked on the case. The popularity of the channel indicates that he is a key source of information for those who are trying to find out about the events behind it online. This purported authoritative status means that the defendant's allegations about the claimant and the words complained of would be likely to be believed by all, or at least a significant proportion of viewers of the channel. Likely. Or you have people like us who were actually have a little like an ounce of discernment and knew that he was full of shit then, he's full of shit now. And guess what? I didn't think you were full of shit then, but I knew you were lying about your record. I knew you were lying about a bunch of other shit. I knew that you were shady as hell, and I know that you're obfuscating, sidestepping,
twerking, whatever, your way out of this shit. Absolutely. No transparency, no accountability. And again, suck it out of my salty cock. Waste of fucking time.
And again, it's the wording. You know, the defendant's allegations about the claimant in the words complained of would be likely to believe. So how do they base that? So AD is not allowed to speculate, but they're allowed to speculate in making a defamation and harassment lawsuit. Okay.
The claimant will rely upon the grapevine effect.
Okay, I want to start reading the damage here. So
Go ahead.
Damage. 31. In support of his claim for damages, including aggravated and exemplary damages for libel and harassment, the claimant will rely on the following facts and matters. 31.1. The facts and matters set out in relation to substantial publication and serious harm at 29 and 30 above. The whole, yeah, likely to believe.
I don't give a fuck. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Here.
Are you too good there? I can. 31.2. The persistent and scale of the defendant's publications referring to the claimant and his family has exacerbated the claimant's distress. Oh, God. 31.3. The claimant has suffered very severe distress as a result of the defendant's harassing course of conduct and his publication of the words complained of in defamation in videos 1 to 5. 31.3.1. Paragraph 13.2 above is repeated. The claimant has been unable to process and move on from his grief related to the death of his sister and her children as a result of the persistent online interest and speculation about the claimant and his family's knowledge of and involvement in the events surrounding their death. So anybody and everybody in the whole wide world that has been talking about this case, discussing all the online interest on all of social media makes AD solely only guilty. He's the only one guilty of doing this, even though all of social media does it. There's thousands of channels that still talked about on a daily basis. But again, it's only Alan that's causing them this distress. 31.3.2. The defendant's harassment and defamation of the claimant has made his day-to-day life unbearable. Well, you were laughing under my community post just the other day, Frankie. So it really isn't day-to-day life is unbearable. Yeah. Right? So has made his day-to-day life unbearable and has led to him having suicidal thoughts and receiving medical treatment for PTSD, depression, and anxiety. Even though in your own interview with the FBI in 2018, you already were not working and were already being treated. You were already being treated for depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Yep. 31.4. Due to individuals republishing the defamation, the defendant's conspiracy theories involving the claimant and or contacting him directly as a result of those
so this is important. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yesterday. Oh, no. The part where he says it's torturous, but go ahead. Sorry.
Conspiracy theories involving the claimant contacting him directly. As a result of those theories, the claimant is afraid to use his mobile phone and social media accounts, including the Facebook account set up for his business. Even though the account set up for his business, he wasn't working in 2018 when he did the interview. He had already stopped working. So how the hell can he not be working in his interview unless you were lying to the police? Were you lying to the FBI, Frankie? So you already weren't working in 2018 when you had this interview, but you're claiming AD has stopped you from being able to run your business. Once again, we've got the situation
or even
it can't be both.
Even soliciting business for his online or his business on his Facebook page because AD's influx of groupies back then were making it impossible for him to get a phone call, I guess.
Like you said in the beginning there, right? We already knew Mama Sandy confirmed he didn't have a bank account. So I tend to think, and this is just my personal opinion.
If she was telling the truth, she might have been lying. She might have been lying.
But if he didn't have a bank account, I have a feeling his business consisted of more of him running around and knocking on neighbors' doors, asking if they needed any handiwork done, cash in hand. But anyways,
due to the individuals, due to the individuals republishing the defendant's conspiracy theories involving the claimant and or contacting him directly as a result of those theories, the claimant is afraid to use his mobile phone and social media accounts, including the Facebook account he set up for his business. He does not answer his phone to any numbers he not already saved on his phone as identified contacts, which has inhibited his ability to carry out and develop his business. Well, we all know that's bullshit, as stated in your FBI interview. This should piss off everybody from back in the day, those in the truth community. I'm serious.
Did you think that
Despite
any of this shit
persistent,
would
sorry,
be used in a fucking lawsuit? That these would be the instances that they would use in a lawsuit? This is bullshit.
Despite persistent references, including videos 1 to 5 by the defendant to the claimant's legal complaint, the defendant has refused to engage with it, failing to respond to pre-action correspondence sent in compliance with the pre-action protocol for media and communications claim. Why? Because he didn't bow and say and pay up and to shut up? Give me a break.
Yeah, see, back then, and I remember it very clearly, I wasn't speaking about it publicly, but y'all sent him, as we call them, or as you call them so eloquently now, the shakedown letters. Pay up or we're taking you to court. Pay up or we're taking you to court. Pay up. Y'all did that for years, literally 2 years, because Claire Morgan fucked y'all up the ass with y'all's fuckery.
Well, and they were doing that while they were having to restart over their evidence collection after Claire Morgan was. So they, I mean,
but the evidence that
and then
they
trying to
filed
say
here in these 5 videos and in those few community posts all center around the Crowd Justice Fund and people like Martin Dehan. That make fucking sense.
But trying to make it seem like Alan's talking about Frankie when it was actually Martin Dehan he's talking about. Okay, so I have 15 minutes here and I've got to really pack
Go
it
ahead.
up.
Let's do it. We're almost done.
All right. So 31.6. In support of his claim for exemplary damages, the claimant will rely upon the following facts and matters. 31.6.1. The defendant knew or was reckless as to the falsity of the allegations made in the words complained of in defamation, and parentheses 2, knew or ought to have known of the harassing nature of his conduct towards the claimant. There's that wording again. Ought to have known.
Can we say that people like Martin Dehan, Helen Schaefer, et cetera, would know that the falsehoods that they're putting out in the statements they're making, saying they're claiming, like, I lied about being a victim of domestic violence, that's not harassing in nature towards me, suggesting that I'm lying about a very, very real thing that happened, even when shown proof about it? You see how that works?
31.6.2. The defendant was very familiar with the background to the Watts case, including the claimant's own background and employment history, because it was in his interview and he posted about it all over Facebook himself. Anyways, as a result of this familiarity, the defendant knew that the claimant's usual place of residence is in the USA, and that the claimant does not, in the ordinary course of his existence, have the resources or ability to pursue litigation over online publications against the defendant in a different jurisdiction. Mommy and daddy do, but funny, interesting, and selectively, they're not attached to this civil claim.
No.
31.6.4. The claimant will seek disclosure of the amount of profit.
Point 3.
Oh, sorry. Point 3, sorry. In the circumstances, the defendant made the publications complained of on the basis of a calculation as to the economic advantage to be gained by him from the publications, namely the financial benefit to be derived from them via income from the channel and the Patreon page, which outweighed the risk of the claimant bringing proceedings against him and the legal and financial risk of paying any substantial damages to the claimant in the event that any action by the claimant succeeded. This conduct on the part of the defendant gives rise to a right to exemplary damages on the part of the claimant. And just a reminder, Cohen Davis has withdrawn their exemplary damages cost request.
Well, I guess Lizzie's math wasn't mathing after all.
Exactly. So 31.6.4, the claimant will seek disclosure of the amount of profit made by the defendant from the tortious conduct complained of in these proceedings for the purposes of assessing the quantum of exemplary damages. So this is all null and void now because they've withdrawn and have decided not to proceed with the exemplary damages.
Let me pick this up. Injunction. Unless restrained by the court, the defendant will continue to harass the defendant. What? Unless restrained by the court, the defendant will continue to harass the defendant and publish the same or
that's right. That's right. Because he's saying unless they restrain him, he's going to continue. That's what
and publish the same or similar defamatory words of the claimant. In support of his claim for an injunction, the claimant will rely on the following facts and matters: the defendant's ongoing publication of the publications complained of in the defamation and harassment set out above, or the defendant's defiant and hostile public you fucking dicks. The defendant's defiant and hostile public response to the Crowd Justice page. God damn you. Who's evil here? It ain't me. It ain't fucking me.
Apparently it's me.
The defendant's failure to acknowledge or respond to pre-action correspondence, a shakedown letter,
That's what we're calling the pre-action correspondence.
Yeah.
Pay up or we're going to take you to court. Pay up or we're going to take you to court. Pay up or we're going to take you to court.
We're not willing to mediate. You're just going to pay up and then you're going to shut up and that's going to be the end of it. But it's not about money, guys. It was about justice. It wasn't about money.
Damages, including aggravated and exemplary damages for libel and harassment, an injunction to restrain the defendant, whether by himself, his servants, agents, or otherwise howsoever, from harassing the claimant and from publishing or causing or permitting to be published the words complained of or any words to the same or similar defamatory effect in respect of the claimant. Now that right there, ladies and gentlemen, means that all of us, when we were putting out our anti-AD content, we were using AD's videos, his words, his voice, everything, right? That was us. That meant us. And that means all of you that are still putting up AD content. I want y'all, I'm going to leave it here. So all you dipshits, especially the ones, I can't dumb it down for you any more than I am. I just want you to, I'm going to read it again. An injunction to restrain the defendant, whether by himself, his servants, agents, or otherwise howsoever. We are the otherwise howsoever. From harassing the claimant and from publishing or causing or permitting to be published the words complained of or any words to the same or similar defamatory effect in respect to the claimant. So every time any one of us truth channels will put up a fucking video about AD and you were underneath them commenting, you, your mom, your dad, coming into our live streams, all of that. That was we were the otherwise howsoever that were harassing you, right? Because we were regurgitating the AD content. All of you that are bringing him back onto YouTube and talking about AD and the AD content, that's harassment according to this fucking particulars of claim. So go fuck yourself.
Even though that harassment consisted of Frankie underneath all of our videos, clapping, laughing, cheering.
Yeah. An order pursuant to Section 12 of the Defamation Act of 2013 that the defendant publish a summary of the final judgment in these proceedings, further or other relief, statement of truth. This is what gets me the most, Frank Rzucek Jr. Statement of truth. I believe that the facts stated in this particulars of claim, I believe that the facts stated in this particulars of claim are true. I understand that proceedings for contempt of court may be brought against anyone who makes or causes to be made a false statement in a document verified by a statement of truth without an honest belief in its truth. You know that some of the shit in here is bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. Do you still?
And again, I just want to point out, that date of March 10th, 2023. Let's not forget, Cohen Davis was retained end of August, early September 2021. They had to start all over again after Claire was exposed, which I contacted Cohen Davis. I should have done it long before I did in the ICO and the SRA. But anyways, hindsight's 2020. I finally contacted Cohen Davis directly to let them know, and hoping that they wouldn't have to, hurt the family by telling them. Because at that point, I mean, I was still trying to give the family a little bit of grace and hoping they would make the right decision and come out and say something. But obviously I was sadly disappointed. So while they were sending all those shakedown scare tactic emails demanding that Alan pay up and they'll fucking leave it all alone, they had to restart all of the evidence collection and putting together all of these particulars of claim. They had to start all over again. So notice that date. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
No, I just, do you know, just in this period, just going over these 24 pages, how many untruths that we've seen, the lies in here, the decontextualized bullshit that they're claiming is defamation. But then you sign your name to this saying that all of it is truth. It's not. And I'm saying it publicly.
Yep. I think we should start a list of all of the lies. What's up, Amy and Granny show?
So
I say it's GF. Yeah. How do you like them apples, people?
This makes me fucking sick. When you say
I'm pretty pissed off.
The words transparency and crowd justice fund should never, ever, ever, ever be put together when it comes to that. Ever, ever. And then you sign that as a statement of truth at the bottom. When he called you out for the crowd justice fund. People have asked you repeatedly for refunds. You've never answered a question. Neither has your lawyer about it. So how many instances did you use as him making those flat out truthful statements back then, right? They're still true today. That shows up in your particulars came in your lawsuit. How could that have happened? I'm flabbergasted that's what ended up being used in his fucking lawsuit. And it's the absolute.
Well, now we know. And now we know why they didn't want this to go through, to have to use evidence to try to prove their claims of harassment and defamation. Look at all this bullshit. This is why they've withdrawn their exemplary damages cost claim. They've totally pulled all of that back because, as I said yesterday, long story short is if they were to pursue that, then Alan would have every single right. All right, I have about 2 minutes here. Alan would have every single right to be able to, they would have had to provide internal key documents. They could have cross-examined Frankie in relation to his legal people, the fundraising representations, questions about him. That's what they do not want to happen at all. So that's why. So imagine, and just reading that particulars of claim, that's why now you see why they never wanted this to go to trial. When you watch the replay back, I mean, I'm pretty raged too, but I haven't actually gone through and counted, and I haven't looked at that particulars of claim in a while. But I'm going to start making a list to find out I'm going to start making the knocking on like you are when you're in prison, counting the days out. I'm going to make the stick number list and see just how many.
Okay.
And we're all going to meet back and see how close we are.
Okay. So I just now put in an email. Okay. grimreapercafe@gmail.com. If anybody wants a copy of this, email me there and I will send it to you. Okay. I tried
or genetics@hotmail.com too.
Yeah. I tried, I wanted to put that in y'all's, or send it into one of John's private chats, but I couldn't do it through WhatsApp or whatever. It had to go through email and all of that. But I have it on my phone. I can do it separately. I don't have to do it through this. So if y'all want it, email that email and I will send it to you. Okay. I will sign off now. I love you, JC. I love all of y'all. I love y'all's support. I have a vested interest in this. I don't care. At the end of the day, everybody here, those genuine Rzucek meat riders, y'all are stalkers and y'all are psychotic. All of you have that in common. I don't care if you want to put God in front of all of your fuckery. It just makes you worse, in my opinion. I'm not fucking with any of y'all. I don't give a shit about any of y'all. You stop stalking my daughter. Stop attacking my daughter on your Facebook pages. Okay? Don't ever threaten me. And like I said, karma is finally biting you in the fucking ass, even if it has to come all the way back or all the way from Texas. I love you, JC, and I'll talk to you later.
And with that salty rant,
I'm done.
She's gone. There we go. Oh, you're not done. So I'm just quickly, I want to put this up. So I do have to sign off. I'm actually going to bingo. So ha. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to dump you for bingo. So as I started the stream here, I'm going to put this right up big. So this was found under Frankie's community post that he apparently he's made 2 community posts in the last week, which is the most I think he's made along in that short of time ever. This was found and may have been removed now only because I've put a spotlight on it, but this is the kind of stuff that's showing under, obviously we know that it's one of those amoral cast of questionable characters alts, and this is the kind of stuff he's leaving on under his community posts on his page, the genetic toad comment. I mean, all this, as you see, I don't need to read it again. I started it off, but yep. So this is the stuff that by Frankie not speaking out and condoning or condemning any of the behavior from the gang stalkers and the Martin D. Hand leader, his silence, he signed on with it. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And we're still at a stage where he has not been transparent, has not been forthright, has not been straight up from his bank with his backers. And again, I ask, out of the 3 items that you collected these donations for, one was because, AD asserted there was an accomplice. You can't sue on behalf of NK. Number 2, AD's assertion that you have a criminal record when in fact you actually do. And number 3, AD's assertion that your family, even though this case is only under your name, that you've made money off this case, and when you have made money, because at the same time you're trying to sue AD for false claims of you making money, you're also trying to claim that he's affecting your YouTube income. So which one is it? It can't be both. Anyways, with that, I do have to go, guys. Sorry. It's time to go. Bingo's about to start. Sorry, love you and all. Yeah. So we are going to follow up with this. I love you guys so very much. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.